Shalom, shalom, everyone, and welcome to another segment, another class at Atlanta Typical Farim. This is the first class of the day, and we want to get started by saying what we're thankful for. But before we do that, please give a subscription if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like and share. Again, as I mentioned in previous classes, many of you had said that you have learned a lot, that you're enjoying the classes. So you want to make sure that you let others enjoy it as well. So please subscribe, please like, and please share. All right. So to kickstart today's class, before we get started, we're going to be saying what we are thankful for. We're going to be saying what we are thankful for. That is dealing with anything pertaining to today, the last few days, even the past month. Whatever you want to say you're thankful for, give honor and praise to the Most High. Please do so. We will share it so that others can see it as well. All right. So I'm going to open the floor for those on Facebook, those on YouTube, and those here on the panel. Whoever would like to go forth, say what they're thankful for, and give an honor to the Most High Power.
One second. Okay. Since I appear to be the only one here. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Nekulam. Blessings to all those who are watching us live at this moment, and blessings to those who will come later. All honor, all respect, all glory, and all praise unto our King, our power, our Creator, for everything that He has blessed us with and continues to protect us and guide and shield us. All due respect to my husband, my Ish, Prince Kazardar, for the provisions that he is allowed to do for not just his family, but for the community, for the nation of Yeshua. Given all due respect to leadership present, and also respect to my father and my mother, but to my father who is still alive, and just thankful for the opportunity to once again approach unto the Creator on his Holy Shabbat day, and also unto his people, those who we serve as leadership. I'm thankful to the Most High for a beautiful week, ending out our holy season, the beginning of our holy season, the beginning of a new year. I'm thankful to the Creator for all the traveling mercies, for all those that have to travel home or to some form of their home, away from Beulah land, for those who have to travel to do other things, other events, and visit other places. So I'm thankful to the Creator for those traveling mercies, for you all's arrival safely. I'm thankful and continuously praying for the arrival of our family who are still traveling to their home destination up north, and may the Most High continue to watch over them through their travels. I just wanted to just say thank you for the Holy Week was really a blessing. The beginning and the end. It gave us a lot of insight on one another, on the things that we need to work on as a community, as a family, as a sisterhood, as a brotherhood. And so I look at all those as lessons and blessings. I pray that the Most High continues to strengthen our community, gird us with the hospitality of Abraham, and gird us with the patience to continue to build even through adversity at times. And just thankful to the Creator for a lot of us had some form of ailment during the week. For some bug was going around. And so I'm thankful to the Creator for building up everybody's immune system to fight the battle that they were going through, the ailment, and healing each and every one of us. Some of us are still at the end of it, but thankful that we are coming through it. Um, yeah, I'm just really thankful. Like the Most High is an awesome power, and I'm thankful that He has allowed us to be where He is. When I wake up and I'm out here on the land, I just give a shout of praise because He didn't have to make this happen. And every time I walk out, I'm reminded of the opportunity that He has placed in my hand to be who I am, to grab hold of the responsibilities that He has given unto me, and to be accountable for those, and to lead not just our community but our sisterhood in the most righteous manner as possible. So grateful for that. Toda Rabah.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabah. May the Most High be praised.
All right, Toda. If there is anyone present right now, I can't see them right now. If there's anyone present on YouTube or Facebook that want to give honor, praise, and thanks to the Most High Power, please, this is the time. When you post it, we will have someone to read it for you. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, please like, and please share. All right. I don't know if there's anyone that said anything, you all. So if not, the next person can speak.
All right, I can go. Shabbat Shalom, Lekulam, Misfata, to the whole family. I am absolutely thankful for traveling mercies to and from my Beulah home, from to and from Beulah for the Holy Week. And I'm definitely thankful for meeting all of the new sisters and their families. It was I haven't been down there in a few months, so it was really, really nice to see the changes that had happened, the families that have been added, the sisters and their babies that have been added, their families. It was really nice to put like faces to the names in the group chat. It was really nice to actually do that for the first time and see everybody in person and hug everybody in person. It was a beautiful time. Even through the sicknesses, like my sister wife was talking about, it was still beautiful. And I'm thankful that most of us, if not all of us, were able to get through it and are getting through it. But I'm definitely thankful that I had the Most High gave me the strength to actually make it down there, being all the pregnant women, giving all the pregnant women the strength to make it down there in whatever way they flew, they drove, whichever way they came. Thank you, Most High, for giving us the strength to actually make it down there and help out in the ways that we could, just to keep everything flowing. I'm grateful for all the babies that were down there. They seem to have a beautiful time too. It was just really, really fun. I'm grateful that we could make it that way for them too. So that's my biggest thing. I'm also grateful for hopefully, prayerfully, this being my last week of work. I pray that the things that I have been tasked to do before I take my leave get all the way done. I'm really pushing for that, so that way I could just start being home until birth happens. So, in either case, I know the Most High got me, but I'm thankful that I've just been able to make it through even to this point with it being my first pregnancy. And I definitely pray for safe deliveries for all the Beulah land mommies, especially the one that's due very soon, right? Naseekh Muna's sister-in-law. I forget her name, but yes, I pray she has. I'm great. Oh, did she say it? Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought she put it in the chat. Yeah, I pray that she has a safe delivery because I think she's first out of all of us. So hopefully that goes super well and that we get to see the baby soon. So that's it. Zehu.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabah. Toda Rabah. Valerie, yes. Valerie.
Valerie, yes. Salika, Valerie.
All right. Told out for that. Told out for that. Again, those that are present right now, on YouTube, on Facebook, please make sure you let us know what you're thankful for. Anything over the past month, day, weeks, whatever it might be, giving honor and praise to the Most High collectively. And we will read it for you. Okay. We have a lyrical dream. I want to give thanks to the Most High. Last week, I almost got hit by a semi truck. I had to think and move fast, and the Most High spared me and my children's lives. Toda Yah.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah says, may the Most High be praised.
All right, Naseekh Shama says, I'm grateful for life. Another day with my mishpacha and the Creator's love and kindness.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Wonderful, wonderful. Boy, the energy just flowing, boy. The energy just flowing strong. Yes. Come on, y'all. Wake up. Let's move. This king is good. Let's acknowledge him. Let's praise him. Let's thank him. Let's worship and honor him. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Who next? Who next? Who want to thank the Most High for anything special?
The Bear Sharon says, safe delivery to all the sisters whom are with child. Healthy praises.
May the Most High be praised. All right. All right.
All right, again, you all make sure you subscribe. Don't be shy. Come on out. Speak up. Speak up.
And if you can, go out and share the page.
All right. Am I next?
Oh, what niece? What's that about?
All right. Your niece told me to tell you Shalom, Prince. Salak Lee, for not remembering her name. She was at the Hebrew classes. I forgot her name as well.
Oh, she out there?
There.
Dear?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she out there?
Okay.
Ah, okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know. Uh-huh. Dia. Shadia. Yeah, that's my girl. She all right, though.
All right.
All right. Let's rock and roll.
Well, I'll start by saying I just want to give honor and praise and glory to the Most High, which He doesn't need me to say, but I'm just thankful for the peace. You know, as I was going over what I'm going to be bringing today, it just brought some more clarity, clarity of what I've known already, but just clarity of what I've been trying to speak on. We spoke on it yesterday when I was talking to some of the brothers here. Of just, I don't feel like we're tapping into fully what we should be as Yisrael, especially those that are righteous, due to fear, perhaps. But I'm grateful for the clarity through the literature that is given to us for us to understand these things. I'm grateful for just another day of life. My Isha being well. No bad reports on today with any of our family members. And any of you all as well, hearing you all, seeing you all here, hearing people making it safe. I'm just grateful that the Most High has given us mercy and grace in the midst of all these different things and different places where we're at, keeping us safe. So all praises to the Most High.
Oh, may the Most High be praised. Bro, you ain't tell us where you at. Hey, where you at?
Oh, well, me and my Ishads we're in Texas right now. This is the Bayeeth Bash weekend. So on yesterday, we started off by doing like an outreach to the homeless for a couple hours, and it was humbling to see. It was so many people where we went. It had to be over. I don't know. I'm not exaggerating when I say there's about 150 to 200 people.
Homeless?
Yes, in the area that we went, and we brought only about like maybe 80 to 100 bags of food, a lot of water, countless water, and some what do you call that? Sparkling water too. I didn't like it. That tastes nice, but they took everything. It was another person we met out there who was giving them clothes and things of that nature. So we kind of connected with him, but it was very humbling. It just makes you think like what we're pressing to accomplish here at Beautiful Land. It's it's amazing when you think about it. Like, these individuals are out there every day. They got to leave the place at 8 o'clock in the morning, and some of them just stay around these 3 different shelters. So it's about 150 to 200 people out there, if I'm not mistaken. And then today we're going to have second class. I won't be present second class, but got like a community Shabbat, and then tomorrow we have the Bruya Bash concert. So hopefully we'll be streaming that live. I'll send it to everyone present that wants to tune in, and of course the Bueller family, you'll get it in the link firsthand. And that's what's going on this weekend. This is our 3rd annual Bruya Bash, 3rd year.
Who's some of the brothers that's involved in this?
Well, the ones that those of us that orchestrated the whole thing is like More Ethan, More Daoud Akeem, Azrael, More Azrael, myself, the real me, or the real music. I don't know if some of you all are familiar with him. Please pray for his family. Keep them in your prayers, because they lost a son right before the Brew Year Bash of last year, and he still came to the Brew Year Bash. The reason he came to us because his son was really inspired through our music and through our walk and stuff like that. His son was like, I think, 13 years old. And that's just a few. More Maccabee. More Maccabee. We have Benaiah. Just to name a few. Those are the ones who just Miss Ray Memo too, who just like orchestrated the whole thing. We come together every year. Once it's over, reanalyze everything, see what we could do better, and get ready for the following year.
That's good. May the Most High be praised. It's good when brothers can get together from different places throughout the earth, come together in one place with one common goal. You'll be how successful it is. And the more our finances grow individually, the better and better the events get every year. The more our finances grow, the more we can contribute to it. And we got more finances coming from more places, and we contribute. One man running the show and doing all things by himself might spend $25,000. And it'll be all right. It'll be acceptable. But if you got 8 different men spending $25,000 for one thing, one purpose, one goal, we gonna make that thing happen. It would really be like tremendous. So just give it a few years, man. It gets better and better every year, I'm sure, because people's hearts are committed to it more and more. More of the people in the audience are committed to it more and more. More donations is coming in, and we're able to do it better and better every year. Because I remember the first one. When I saw the video on the first one, I was like, it's all right. And then the second one was a lot better than the first one. So I can just imagine what this one is like. And then the next one 5 years from now, I could just imagine the momentum that's been put into it, the energy, the momentum, the energy. It's just going to make it bigger and better and stronger. But the real test and the real challenge is keeping that brotherhood strong. That's the real test and the real challenge in individuals' minds and personalities and their walks. That's where the challenge and struggle really comes in. Because with longevity of time is one thing, but to survive the longevity of time is another thing. A lot of people, if they're living two lives and pretending to be one and pretending to be the other one, or really being the other one, but pretending to be, it will be revealed in a matter of time. So I just pray that everybody's giving like that, like you just got finished saying that you was talking, that everybody is giving their best to be their best, to do their best, to reveal themselves to the Creator and live in the life that the Creator has for them. And if they do that, if we do that, then we'll be all right. Maybe about 5 years, 2 years, maybe even next year, we'll be out there with y'all, enjoying it. And I got a whole lot of family in Texas. We'll be out there kicking it in, getting it in, having a ball. Maybe we can make that a unity Shabbat and include all of our people and come down there and participate as well. I'm just thankful for the Creator putting that spirit on y'all to make y'all do that. So may the Most High be praised to the Rabbah. And I know, Naseekh, I know what you put into it to get there, to be there, to do it all, participate. I know what you give it your all to everything that you do. So May the Most High bring blessings upon your life as well, man, because you're a big supporter there. You're a big influence there, and you probably don't even know how much you influence people there. You might not even be aware of that. The energy, the strength that walks in you, the respect you command just by being who you are as a servant of the Most High. A lot of people see that. They might not tell you that, but they'll show it to you. So may the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah. My turn. Oh, we got some more. Go ahead. Y'all can do that first.
Well, we got Gabriel Neat. I'm thankful for the breath of life and the Most High's people. I'm thankful for genuine connections and relationships.
Shabbat Shalom, Sister Anit. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. You know, I really want to go in on you right now, sis, but I'm going to leave that alone. So I'm going to leave that alone because I haven't seen you so long. I was worried about you. You had me over here crying and everything, asking the Creator what's going on with you. I hadn't seen you. But I said I wasn't going to go in on you, so I'm going to leave it alone, sis. I'm going to leave it alone. Thankful to see you today. Know that you're in the audience with us today. Give me a hug. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah. All right.
Yazakena Laurel, she said, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm giving thanks and praises to the Most High for life, peace, and excellent health. I'm also giving thanks for the winter snowstorm warnings that the Most High brought me through safely. The Most High be praised. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Shalom Shabbat.
Shalom Shabbat. All right.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I do want to give thanks and praise to the Creator for keeping all those. I know I got word through my family chat that there was an earthquake started, I think, in New York and kind of ricocheted down to the furthest to Virginia and then upstate New York. And just thankful that everybody that I know that was affected or felt it did not have any, after effects from it or any harm, hurt, or danger came to them. So to our Creator for keeping, all of you safe through that, for those who felt it and for those who did not. Shalom.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Yes, I felt that earthquake yesterday. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to put that in the chat too. That's so funny. But I was at work when that happened, and everybody literally stopped and looked at each other because the building was shaking. That was my second second earthquake experience. I had another one as a child, but this was my first one as an adult, and the building was shaking and we were all very confused. So I'm glad nothing bad happened either. I was just about to talk about that. That was crazy.
Okay. All right. May the Most High be praised. I'm glad you're cool. I'm glad that ain't hurt.
Sister Aisha says, I'm thankful for alignment, the things that stay together, the things that fall apart, and the things that I have no control over.
May the Most High be praised. And that's wisdom, sis. That's wisdom, to have the ability to be thankful for that, mindful to be thankful for that. That's wisdom. May the Most High be praised.
And More Zakaria says, I am so grateful for the beautiful time and experience on Beulah land. The children and I had such a great time. They cried when we left. It was truly a great time, and we are so excited to return. And she says, I am thankful for traveling compassions as well as we return up north. Abba has kept us and continues to do so. It's true. The children were like crying. They were crying. And I was like, oh, y'all be back in less than a month. So thankful they had a great experience too.
Maybe because they wasn't supposed to leave. They was probably, you know how you break divine order? You know how divine order have something set for your life, and then you go against that, and it brings so much chaos and confusion. That was the children crying. The children was bearing record that y'all wasn't supposed to leave.
You know what's crazy? When I heard the earthquake happen, right? I said, yeah, and all of y'all who left went up north to the earthquake. So none of y'all was supposed to leave, actually.
That's right.
Everybody's supposed to be coming here and being here and not going back and forth.
That's what it was supposed to be. So next time y'all come, we're gonna make arrangements so y'all can just stay. You know what it is when you get family around and the family fit like a glove, that makes you not want to take the glove off. I'm gonna just say it. It makes you not want to take the glove off. You want to keep the glove on. Your hand dry right underneath of the glove, but you don't want to take that glove off because you don't want the family to depart. And that was a great fit. I'm gonna tell you, that was a great fit. May the Most High be praised. And Sister Hadassah, I don't know if she's here or not. She might be in the audience listening as well. But sis, y'all should have just stayed. All y'all, you should have just stayed. And if you had to go home and check up on your stuff, you should have left the children. You went home and then flew right back. You had to take that long ride. We could have put y'all on the plane. You could have flew back, changed up, made sure everything was right, and then flew right back. Yeah, it was just we had a great. Just like with the Bruyere Bash, every year it gets better and better. Every year it gets better and better and better. The more you do it, the more comes into it. So I'm grateful, man. This was really, really a great experience. Oh, is it my turn yet?
Can you do me a favor? Can you acknowledge the Facebook user? Or because I can't see who it is. I'm not sure if you
let me tell you who it is.
Okay, Toda.
It's one of my spiritual daughters, Yolanda Costin, Deborah. Yeah.
Oh, she said Hadassah's there. She says shalom.
Yes. Y'all shouldn't have left. Y'all should have just stayed. Shabbat shalom, Bati. Yeah. Y'all should have just stayed. Y'all shouldn't have went nowhere. And you ain't got to think about it. Just be about it. Just come on in. We waiting. Come on in. We waiting for you. Just come, just say, I'm coming. And we get down there. I'm ready to go back down there again next month. So when you're ready, you let me know. You can take that long ride with me if I drive. That's a long ride. So I'm going to just say what I'm thankful for. Is that okay? Do I got the floor now? All right. I am so grateful for life. The Creator has extended our lives because none of us were supposed to be here today. The odds were stacked against us many, many, many years ago before we was even born. But the Creator saw fit to allow us to exist, and we're here. We're not just here, we're thriving. We're doing great. And I'm so appreciative of the blessings of the Creator, the mercy that He had upon us, and how He has prolonged our days. And every year it gets better and better and better in our personal lives. The substance, the living arrangements, the finances, the mental thinking, the loyalty and the commitment to Him and to this way of life, it gets better and better, stronger and stronger as the years go by. I am eternally grateful for that. This year, the Most High has blessed us with family, has traveled longer than I traveled 700 and something miles to get down there. And one of them pregnant, and they traveled at least about 800-900 miles to drive to get down there. So I know what their ride was like because I know what my ride be like. And to have a person to do something like that for you, just to be in your midst, is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. So I am grateful. It was almost nothing that I wouldn't do in exchange for what they've contributed to during this Holy Week and the sacrifices that they made to drive all the way down there and to be a part of us and to celebrate with us the Holy Week of the Most High. I'm grateful. See, I pay attention to the small things. I don't just look for people to do big things for me. I look at all the small things. Look at that. She said over 1,000 miles. I am so grateful. May the Most High be praised, May the Most High, the King of all creation, prolong their days, bless their lives, and allow them to return home in their homes there increased, to find it increased by 100%. So that when they do get back, what they had prior has increased in value and strength and comfortability, in praises and everything. Just that he blessed their substance, their homes, and that they find more peace in their lives. You know, they got a lot of lessons that they got to take back with them, and they got a lot of experiences. And I pray that the Most High has caused all that to saturate within them, and that they know who's for them and who's not for them. So I am thankful. I really, really, really am thankful. And I'm just talking about those who traveled over 1,000 miles. We got some other ones who traveled several hundreds of miles, and we're grateful for them as well. Because for them to come out and do what they did and stay for the duration of time, for all that time, and participate, the energy and the spirits that they had, it was a beautiful thing. It was a sight made in heaven. The Most High made it in heaven, sent it down on the earth, and we fell in place. So I'm very, very thankful for this week, this prior week that we had, that we got to spend with the family. And I think we actually stayed longer than a week, didn't we? We stayed like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks almost. Yeah, we was pushing on 2 weeks. We was out there for a long time. We just had a great time, a great ball, and we just enjoyed the blessings of life. So I'm thankful to the Most High for those things. So I got this phone call, and I'm thankful to the Creator for this as well. And Ima Sakuri, I'll get you right. Matter of fact, put her up now. I'll be patient and I'll wait. Put Ima up there, please.
Haim Sakari says, grateful you all are well. It's been very busy the past few weeks. Got help from my neighbors on the land trimming trees. Still more to do. It's good to hear the good news that you all are well.
Thank you. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Toda Rabbah. So I got a call the other day. Actually, we've been getting quite a few calls with people offering donations to Beulah Land. Just calling up. Hey, Prince, the Creator put on my spirit. I want to send y'all a donation. And I'm so grateful and thankful because you know it's hard to get Black people to part with their money. They'll give it to the church, but they ain't giving it to nothing on a righteous level. On something like what we're doing, it's very difficult to get Black folk to spend their money. And I've been getting calls from these different sisters. I ain't think I got any from any brothers, but they all been sisters. Yo, Prince, I want to send a donation. Where do I send it? How do I get it to y'all? And that is a beautiful thing because everything that is being done, it needs help and support to get it done. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful. The last sister who offered and sent it in the mail, she told me to keep it anonymous. She don't want me to tell anybody who she was or who she is. So sis, Ima, she's like, Ima, you know who you are, and may the Most High bring blessings upon your life for what you have done to contribute and donate to our community. May the Most High be praised. But we got a lot of work to do, y'all. We do. We have a lot of work to do. We got a whole bunch of land cleared out the other day, well, about a month ago. Cleared out for the school. The school building is going in that location. So we still got to do all that. We got a lot of pockets of land cleared out, about a quarter acre for each one, somewhere around that order, for a lot of the buildings that we're putting for people to come in to live in. You know, we really getting busy, man. We got a lot we doing, and I'm so grateful for the team that the Most High placed around me. You know, the brothers that the Creator got walking with me. I don't even need to mention this brother. Y'all see him. He right there. He's like, what would I do without him? You know, when we got other brothers, we got Yirmiyahu, another strong brother that's right there. Azante, another strong brother that's right there, willing to do what they got to do to make this happen, you know? And it's a blessing. It is truly a blessing to see brothers like that stand up and say, hey, where do I fit in? What do I need to do? How can I get this done? And be willing to get it done, willing to go out there and make it happen. It's a blessing. It really is. I see Abba's in the room. Abba says, Shabbat Shalom, family. There you go. Shabbat Shalom, family. Beloved Mishpachah. All praises to Abba Yotzer for the time we had at Beulah Land during Passover. He says, I love and appreciate you all. And we feel the same way about you, bro. About you, Albert. Go ahead, Emma.
I just wanted to say, I forgot to even mention this, but I literally was planning to, I only was asked to pierce a couple of ears, my sister wife, and then my spiritual daughters, Naseekh and Yasmin. And when I think he mentioned it, but I thought he was joking about getting his ears pierced, right? So after I finished their ears and everything, and especially Yasmin and Naseekh Muna, you know, we had a moment. It was very emotional, but spiritually connecting and just a positive experience. And then he sits down, and I'm like, "Are you? Oh, you were serious?" So I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Let me go ask my Isha," you know. So, you know, when they asked her, of course, she said yes. And then after he sat down, and his son sat down, then the next son, like I pierced about a good 20 years that afternoon. And the crazy thing is, Naseekh was back there making jokes the whole time. I kept dropping the earring because this little mechanism that this new thing, it was a lot. But we got it done. And then my daughter, who was cooking, making the massas, come running out to get her ear pierced. And I'm just like, all right. So it was a good time though. And it just reminded me, you know, how much family we are and how those little things even join us or conjoin us in different ways. The unification of everybody getting an ear pierced that day. And it's crazy because I was like, oh, I wanted mine done, but I really didn't think anybody there would be able to do it. So I just left it alone. And my oldest daughter was like, well, I need mine done. And then my youngest daughter yesterday was like, your sister wants hers done. So when I go to Atlanta tomorrow, we'll be doing our three. I'll be doing my little sister who's actually lives in Africa, South Africa. She's here visiting us. And then I'll do my oldest daughters and she'll do mine. So I just appreciated even that moment because when Naseekh came to me about it, they were talking about going to Claire's, and I was like, oh, I have the kit. Like, it's no problem. You know, I ordered it because my sister wife wanted it done anyway, and I have enough. And so I'm just thankful that they trusted me enough to do it, and that I was able to give them something that they wanted to, you know, have done together as well. So Toda Rabah for those moments. It was fun, and it was a good experience. Shalom.
May the Most High be praised. So yes, everybody got it done, and that tied us together as family, even that much more, you know, because they all got that piercing done at the same time and on the same day, right there in that one sitting. That was a beautiful thing. Now, I didn't get to see none of that. I didn't get to witness none of that because I was out working like always, cutting grass all the way around the corner, cutting the grass. Nobody ain't even come out there to help me. Naseekh, did you help me cut grass?
Not at that moment. I wanted to be present for that moment.
See what I mean?
And I was videoed it.
Y'all
Because you know you always say, was it video? Yes, it was video.
Right. I always say that because we got to make those memories. So when we put our video clip together about the beginnings of our land and our journey, we have to show who the original people were. And that's right. She talking about she want her nose pierced.
Yeah, I actually have the kit for that too, and I got to do Naseekh Muna, so I'll text you, sis.
What a blessing. Oh, okay.
All right. And Qatar says, Shalom, family. I am so thankful for experiences I've had with the Beulah family during the feast. The blessings received are beyond anything that I could have imagined.
Oh, man, wait till the next piece. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, eh? May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabah.
I'm sorry. I know I keep saying something, but even AIM, I do want to give acknowledgement to AIM because she actually received her elevation title during the feast day. So it happened on our during our Yeladim Princess and Princesses Ball, Spring Ball. But I mean, we know that Zakwina A. Kitar was already in that elevation without the actual paperwork. just her presence here on the land and how she mothers all of us. But naming her that and hearing everybody call her that throughout the whole week and her just continuously be that was very inspirational as well. And I'm just thankful for her because she came, she came and showed out with the herbs. And then I think one day I put in the sisterhood chat for her she was supposed to make a squash casserole. And I just named everything else that was supposed to be made. And she thought I was saying she had to make it. And she made it all in like a couple of hours. And it was all so good. Like, I don't even like casserole. And I ate it without even thinking it was casserole. And so I'm just thankful for her and just all the love that she places and puts forward for us, and her presence is phenomenal. Even her daughter came that same night and ate with us around the fireplace. So it was a blessing. It was a blessing. And I want to acknowledge even Todaya coming and her and Ezzy, her and our daughters for the first time meeting each other, even though we've been married for a minute, but our daughters meeting each other because they're grown. As he waited for Todaya, she had like flight delays and everything. And as he waited the whole day to be able to pick her up and bring her to the land, and just even them bonding in that moment was phenomenal. And, sometimes we think about why things happen, but the Most High has the plan for everything. So I'm just thankful for the whole event. It was truly a blessing this whole week and this month to come. So shalom.
Shalom, shalom. May the Most High be praised. And just for the record, y'all, nothing else has happened that she hasn't told y'all, because she told y'all everything from beginning to end. So don't think she's going to interrupt again, because she ain't got nothing else to talk about, because she talked about everything and everybody. So that portion, I'm sure she ain't going to interrupt us no more the rest of the day, because she done got it all off her chest now. May the Most High be praised. Oh, here we go.
I think Bayeeth Ma'azahn has something that she said too. It says, I am thankful for my alignment, the things that stay together, the things that fall apart, and the things that I have no control over.
You was up late last night, Naseekh?
Who, me? No, I went to sleep early.
Okay. You don't remember we did that?
Huh?
You hit one of my numbers now.
Oh, we read that already?
Yeah. You hit one of my numbers. Yes, she did. She did say those things. And we talked about it for a brief period of time. But it's cool. It's cool, bro. You're allowed to do it once in a while. I used to do it all the time. I used to do it so much, they told me to stop putting stuff up. But may the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. But it's nice how he didn't want to leave her out. You know what I mean? She contributed something, and he wanted to just go and make sure that her words were heard by the rest of the family. So that's a blessing. May the Most High be praised.
As Zakana said, definitely massive getting used to working and getting grass cut and pruning. It is wonderful to hear the wonderful opportunities enjoyed by everyone.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
And Qatar, you are truly phenomenal. I am beyond thankful for you. And Zeruya says, thank you so much, and Qatar, for my flower shirt.
Ain't that nice? Ain't that nice? She just shows off, don't she? She just being her makes everybody appreciate her just that much more, because she just gets out there and get it done. So y'all got me over here with these little wet eyes. Let me move on, y'all, so I can straighten my face up. All right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So yeah, I was thanking the Creator, and I thank the Creator for the offerings that everybody's been offering and donating to us. I thank the Most High. Well, I'm thanking the Most High for all the people, all the wonderful family members who came out and participated in the event that we had. You know, it was really, really a nice event. From the Prince and Princess's Ball all the way to the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread was such a beautiful event. So may the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. All right. Is there anyone else who wishes to thank the Creator? And the family, before you go, before we move on with the lessons for today, everybody that's here and within the sound of my voice, could you please do us a favor? Share the page on your social media or through your call log and your messages on your phone. Share the link to the page so that others will get this news. Because this lesson that's about to drop is a phenomenal lesson. I already know it and I haven't heard it. I already know it because of the brother that's bringing it forward. It's going to be a phenomenal lesson, and we would like for everyone that's possible to hear the lesson so that this information can absorb into their spirit so that they can draw closer to the Creator. All right? So please like, share, and subscribe. Don't just hear it. Actually do it, family, please. We're not trying to demand you do anything. We're only requesting. We're requesting that you would share, like, and subscribe to the page. Anybody in your audience, anybody in your call log, send them a link to the page so that they can come in and that they can fellowship with us so that the message of today's lesson can go through to them. May the Most High be praised. And at this time, I'm going to turn the mic over to Naseekh Shama. Bro, you got the floor. May the Most High be with you. Can't hear you, bro. You're on silent.
תודה רבה. אני רוצה לתת כבוד לשבת ליהוה, אלוהי אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. First, I want to give honor and praise to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And second, I want to give honor to my aim and to my Ab, because without them, I would not be here before you all and able to learn the very things about life, how to maneuver, how to get better, how to improve. These are things that we should be focusing on, but we have so many things around us that's preventing us to not taking the moments that we have throughout the day to focus on the things that's silent or the thing that's quiet. And by not doing that, we cause ourselves most times to miss those things that are quiet and that are silent. We often, when we think of the Most High, we think that something is going to be great, something's going to be huge and big to be revealed to us. And sometimes it's the quiet things. All right. So before getting started, I want to just let you all know what the title is. If you haven't seen it, the title is "By This I Know That You Are a Man of Elohim, and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is truth." All right. In man, we're talking about man contextually, right? A man individually, but this is for us all. We have to keep that in mind. The scriptures is given to the children of Yisrael as a whole. So a lot of the messages that I bring forth, that Prince brings forth, and those that we have that come and be guest speakers is geared towards everyone. All right. We understand that we have to direct it towards the men and direct it towards the leaders because that's just how the natural order is supposed to be. But we all, as I was speaking on yesterday, we have our portions of what we're supposed to do. And in order to fulfill those portions, we have to be a certain way. So today we're going to be in the books, the book of Kings once again. And I was talking yesterday, and we was talking about like what would be your what do you call that? Your Mount Rushmore. If we was to talk about the Mount Rushmore of Yisrael within the Tanakh, and it was based off of what I presented to them, what I was going to talk about today, and we're going to be speaking of Eliyahu, but more specifically Elisha or Elisha, however some people say. I say Elisha, right? And the Mount Rushmore that was given, because I put them two in the Mount Rushmore, was Moshe, of course, and then Shemuel was actually in the Mount Rushmore. But these individuals have done things that is beyond great, that we look at as something that is beyond what we can imagine. But I come to think, and I like to teach that I believe those same things that we seen then are now. We have people amongst us now that are able to do these things. But we have to believe. So I want to go to this story so we can kind of pick apart how they were viewing certain things. So that's the premise of today. All right, so we're going to start off in 1 Kings 17. We're going to start off in 1 Kings 17. And we're going to kick it off with Eliyahu or Elijah. All right. This may be a first part. Part 2 might be after this. We shall see how this goes. And it starts 1 Kings 17:1. And Eliyahu the Tishbite of the inhabitants of Gilead said to Ahab, the king Ahab, as the Most High Elohim of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there should be no dew or no rain these years, except at my word. And the word of the Most High came to him, saying, Go away from here and turn eastward and hide by the Wadi Kerith, which flows into the Yarden or the Jordan. And it shall be that you drink from the stream, and I shall command the ravens to feed you there. And he went and did according to the word of the Most High, for he went and dwelt by the Wadi Kerith, which flows into the Jordan or the Yarden. And the ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning, and bread and meat in the evening, and he drank from the stream. One of the things I want to stop here. We see that it was a command given, even to the point a lot of us we're focused and we're wondering, okay, what is our next meal? How are we going to do these different things when we have things going on in our lives that's tough? And we see an example of Elijah or Eliyahu having belief and faith that even the food and the water is going to be supplied by those that we don't even pay homage to, and those are the animals, right? The birds, right? Things that is nature involved. We have been so removed from nature that we are putting ourselves in a position that we can't even gather or don't even know how to get food. You know, we went to outreach yesterday, and there was people that were hungry, right? But that's the cities of Texas. And we speak on this a lot in Beulah about growing your own food. The earth is given to us to cultivate these things. We're able to. We need the knowledge and we need the belief. And not even just the knowledge, because we can have the knowledge, but we need to have the belief to fulfill that action, to create these things. But in this context, we're seeing that the faith behind Eliyahu or Elijah is, and the faith is that the action. He was obedient to what was said, and he went forward. These are things that we got to gravitate to. These are things that we have to believe that we're capable of, right? We have to have that belief. You know, sometimes you're going to have moments. We're going to read that with Eliyahu, but you have to have that belief and fulfill and remember what is taught, right? Verse 7, it says that it came to be after a while that the stream dried up because there had been no rain in the land. Okay, you go back up. It says that. It says there will be no dew or no rain these years. So he's preparing Eliyahu, and Eliyahu had to do what it was that was said. So now it's being fulfilled. Verse 7, then the word of the Most High came to him, saying, Rise up, go to Zarephath, which belongs to Sidon, and dwell there. See, I have commanded a widow there to sustain you. The Most High put people in your paths when you are faithful, right? When you are obedient, when you're fulfilling the word and the customs and the culture in the way that those before you did, right? Elijah is coming after the Moshe, right? Coming after these individuals, this Mount Rushmore that I'm putting out here, right? And when you're coming after these individuals and you're fulfilling it, you're standing on their shoulders and you're trusting in the Most High, he puts people before you that's going to help sustain you, right? And that's what we're seeing right here. See, I have commanded a widow there to sustain you. A widow, meaning she don't even have a husband, right? And he rose up and he went to Zarephath and came to the gate of the city and saw a widow there gathering sticks. And he called and said to her, Please bring me a little water in a vessel to drink. And as she was going to get it, he called and said to her, please bring me a piece of bread in your hand. And she said, as the Most High your Elohim lives, I do not have bread, only a handful of flour in a bin and a little oil in a jar. And see, I am gathering a couple of sticks and shall go in and prepare it for myself and my son, and we shall eat it and die. One of the things I want to point out is this widow, this individual, she's aware of the Most High, as you can see. She says, as the Most High your Elohim lives. We see this common in our scriptures. Today, this is everyone's power, the Most High, right? We all think that we're all authoritative in a sense on the matter. We don't take heed to certain individuals that may have more knowledge and or wisdom or put in a position to do certain things. We feel we can do it ourselves, right? Why am I using that or bring that to example? She says, your Elohim, the Most High, your Elohim, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, your Elohim, which is hers as well. But they address these individuals a certain way. They had an outlook within these men of Elohim or these women of Elohim a certain way. They addressed them a certain way. But we're far removed from that today. This isn't to say or convince or persuade you all to do this. You got to have that in your heart to do it, or in your mind to do it. But when we're saying we're the people of this book or the literature, we have to then start operating in the same manner, the righteous ones anyway. Right? Verse 13 says, and Eliyahu said to her, do not fear. Go and do as you have said, but make me a small cake for it first and bring it to me. And afterward, make some for yourself and your son. You all see that order? You all see that order right there. She says she had to do for her and her son, but he's instructing her to do for him first, then them. Now, it can be to see her faith or her obedience, her reverence to the Most High, because when you are reverencing the Most High, you're reverencing those that sent through the Most High as well. Now, we're talking contextually. We're talking through our literature. Again, you got to decide what you want to do from what you're hearing. It says, verse 14, for thus said Most High Elohim of Yisrael, the bin of flour shall not be used up, nor the jar of oil run dry until the day the Most High sends rain on the earth. So she went and did according to the word of Eliyahu, and she and he and her household ate for many days. The bin of flour was not used up, nor did the jar of oil run dry, according to the word of the Most High, which he spoke by Eliyahu. Okay? And after these events, it came to be that the son of the woman who owned the house became sick, and his sickness was very severe until there was no breath left in him. And she said to Eliyahu, what I to do with you, O man of Elohim? Have you come to me to bring my crookedness to be remembered and to kill my son? Right? So now she's saying this prophet is here. And once he came, that's when stuff turned in her mind. Right? And this tends to happen with some of us. Things may happen with, like, okay, especially those that are conscious from a standpoint of understanding how the Most High works, right? Typically, a prophet comes, and if danger is happening, then the first thing that's thought is this has to be of the Most High. Those are those who have an understanding of how the Scripture, conveys these type of messages. This is what's happening right here. And he said to her, "Give me your son." So he took him from her arms and took him to the upper room where he was dwelling and laid him on his own bed and cried out to the Most High and said, "O Most High, my Elohim, have you also brought evil on the widow with whom I am sojourning to kill her son?" Right? So even Eliyahu is not knowing exactly what's happening, but he's going before inquiring of the Most High. These methods, right? This custom way of this Hebraic thought of how to move should be the first thing that we should do. We shouldn't just go on our own accord and just, okay, this is happening, so let me do this. We should go before the Most High and ask before we make moves. we impulsively make moves. Many of us have. Myself has done the same thing. And I'm sure those of you that's listening have done the same thing. But the first thing we should do is go before the Most High. Right? And he stretched himself out on the child 3 times and cried out to the Most High and said, "Oh, Most High, my Elohim, I pray, let the life of this child come back to him." And the Most High heard the voice of Eliyahu, and the life of the child came back to him, and he lived. And Eliyahu took the child and brought him down from the upper room into the house and gave him to his mother. And Eliyahu said, "See, your son lives." Right? So when we look at this right now, we see a prophet of the Most High power. We see a woman that was in distraught about her son. We see him praying his belief of what the Most High can do. But he also understands that the circle of life has to take place. The Most High is going to raise up who the Most High raises up. And sometimes the Most High is going to allow what can be just natural within human function to happen, right? So we must take that in consideration. And the woman said to Eliyahu, "Now by this I know that you are a man of Elohim, and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is truth." All right? Any questions, any thoughts, any comments pertaining to this chapter before we go forward?
I have something really quick.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of the first thing it reminded me of not leaning on your own understanding because of not knowing what's going on, right? That verse immediately came to my head because that's something that I personally need to work on. So I think that sparked that within me. And then, so that was very important. I don't know if that was a part of this lesson, but it was for me, Total Rabah. And then also, I kind of feel like one of the reasons is it Eliyahu?
Mm-hmm.
Eliyahu was even brought to that widow was probably to increase her faith, trust, and knowledge in the Creator. Because even though if I'm reading it right, she was obedient when she got the last bit of meal to cook it for him first. And then the Most High, if I'm reading that right, he rewarded her by not letting her food go out, right? So that was another step of her obedience. And then something bad happened. So she's like, okay, so what's going on now? And then the son got revived. And even like you said, Eliyahu didn't really know what was going on. So he had to ask. And the Most High had mercy and brought back the son. And now I feel like based on that last verse, I'm not sure if we read it. I may have skipped a little bit ahead, but now, oh, you did read it. Now I know that you are a man of the Most High. So even now, I think that was the whole point. Like this widow and the son now knowing the Most High even deeper, even better because of what happened.
Okay. And I believe also with what you're bringing out with the mother or with the aim, that it's the smallest things that can work in your favor. The smallest things of how you operate with the men and or women of the Most High. The smallest things of how you operate with the Most High himself can be the difference in the outcome and what it is that's going to happen in your future. Because even with her explanation at the end, I don't know the background of this woman. I don't know how knowledgeable she is, right? But she says, now by this I know that you are a man of Elohim, and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is truth. But is she saying this based off of what took place with her son? Some people, when they see something great happens to them, they gravitate towards that. When something with her son happened, right? She's automatically kind of like, did you bring this on to me? So it was a negative thing that happened. She went that way. It was a positive thing to happen. She went that way. But I think the biggest picture out of what happened was her obedience to when he said, bring to me first. Even though she spoke on saying, I got to do for me and my son first. And he came and brought that instruction. That instruction, I believe, that small instruction is what helped also the walk of Eliyahu, the faith and the consistency with the Most High within Eliyahu as well. I think it's a bigger picture with that, right? Because we see examples through the text where the Most High wanted something to be done to a group of people. Nivea, we saw even with David, right? We're going to see another example coming up soon where something was going to happen, but something shifted. So just because something is said and then it shifts, it's not in the hands of just the man of Elohim. It is ultimately the Most High. Because it could be a man of Elohim that may say something or try to bring forth something, and it might not go in your favor. Are you going to do what this woman did initially? Or are you going to keep that faith? That's up to you all. All right. Any other comments? Any other thoughts? Any other questions?
It appears as if through this reading, several people's loyalty to the Almighty is being tested.
Okay.
And we also got to keep in mind the young boy, because I'm sure when the Creator brought him back, he had a lot to be thankful to the Creator for.
Mm-hmm.
The woman started off with nothing. The Creator blessed her by following directions and instructions, which is a very important part that we got to start to focus on. Following directions and instructions, like Maisha said, she leaned on her own understanding. No, don't lean on your own understanding. Follow the Creator's directions and instructions, because this was a man that gave her these directions and instructions. A man that she really didn't know was a man of the Most High, except that he was of the community. Everybody accepted him as a man of the Most High, but in her personal life, it hadn't been shown yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, after she experienced what she experienced, she says, by this I know that you are a man of the Most High, and that the word of the Most High is in your mouth. That was deep. That was deep. A lot of people today don't put that kind of trust in people who come and represent the Creator. I'm going to leave that alone for now. Thank you, but you're doing a great job. Greatly appreciative. Total Rabah.
Okay. Okay, and I want to make sure we add in there too again, or reiterate, like I brought out with the I told out for that person. Sometimes you got to remember, we saw things that took place with Nivea, like that I brought out. Nineveh, I said Nineveh that I brought out. Same things with what was that, Shemuel and David, right? Something was put in place, and then it was shifted due to something. A man or woman of the Most High's job is to bring what they believe is righteous, and or what they was actually told to do as well. But the Most High could shift anything, basically, depending upon the different variables within it, the individual, an act, whatever it might be. And we're going to read that. So keep that in mind, but also keep in mind what we're reading as far as that little small part she did. It was that instruction, I believe, like Prince just elaborated more on. So, all right, you all, let's continue. If it's nothing else, because I can't see any comments or questions or anything like that, I'm going to go forward. We're going to go into 1 Kings 18. Continuation of the Most High is provided on all accounts. Cain and Cain. Confirmation, I have this highlighted in my scriptures. I always found great significance in both stories mentioned that they closed the door behind them. Their miracles took place. Cain. Tarabah. Spiritual alignment is real. And I believe that is what our fathers and foremothers really understood. And if we could get back to that, we were talking yesterday, and this is another topic. It could go left. So I would just say this. One of the things that I brought out was that I think if we could get back to that and not be afraid of what others believe. Like if you are really spiritually inclined, and a super spiritual individual, you know, dropping at the drop of a dime in prayer in front of people, and your life aligns with your speech and your servitude to the Most High is evident. If we can get past wondering what other people are thinking about us and just focus on the Most High, I think we could get back to. I know we could get back to what we're seeing and reading in these scriptures. And I believe it's people today that's doing it. And some of us just don't recognize it. But I think that it's a large amount of us that can. We read that in the Kings. We're going to go to the chapter, I believe. And when he was talking about raising up 1,000 people or 7,000 people, I believe, one of the two. It's people out there. This lesson today is kind of to get us to think and encourage us to get more alignment in what we're reading, because our people today needs it or need it. We need it. We need it. All right. First Kings 18, and we're going to 21. Jump down to 21. And when we get to 21, we're going to go to 36 through 40. Jump down to 21. Then we're going to go to 36 and 40. All right, 21. And it says, and Eliyahu came to all the people. Now, we read this in the previous lesson I did. I think also a previous lesson that Prince did. I don't know what day, but I remember him speaking on this too. And Eliyahu came to all the people and said, how long would you keep hopping between two opinions? If the Most High is Elohim, follow him. And if Baal, follow him. But the people answer him not a word. Okay? I want to stop there. And I want us to kind of dissect that. We look at this and we contextually is talking about them serving two different, or serving the Most High and then serving another deity, right? Baal. Us in the Hebrew community and people within the Christian communities, we look at this word Baal and we just think it's pertaining to Baal. But it's telling you something right here. The best way for us to get closer to the Most High is to see the consistency of the righteous individuals, what they dealt with, and the unrighteous or wicked. See, we won't call ourselves wicked. We might say some of our acts are, but we won't call ourselves wicked. Do you know what is wicked, the most wicked out of anything as it pertains to the Most High? Does anyone know that answer before I say it? What do you believe is the most wicked as it pertains to the Most High?
You already told us.
I was about to say it. I know.
I was serving
another mighty one, or whatever we want to call it, right? If we want to truly get in line, we got to look at what's happening here. It says, and Eliyahu came to all the people and said, how long would you keep hopping between two opinions? This ain't talking about, you wear zit and you wear fringes, or it ain't talking about that. This is literally talking about the servitude of something opposite of the Most High. Okay? And look, the people answered him not a word. They had nothing to say at that point. We're not going to read down to the next few verses, but I wanted to jump there because if we could keep that in our mind and understand the servitude of something outside of the Most High has been our problem from back then, and it's our problem now. However you are grasping what I'm saying right now, just sit down and pray to the Most High and let the Most High reveal this to you. Watch this. Let's keep reading. Let's go down to 36. Let's go down to 36. 36 says, and it came to be at the time of bringing the evening offering, the Eliyahu, the prophet, came near and said, the Most High Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael, or Yaakov, right? Let it be known today, you are Elohim in Yisrael, and I, your servant, have done all these matters by your word. I think this is interesting. We see this being done or said today in Yisrael, right, in the Israelite community. We see this in the Christian community, and this is used often. But even if it's used often, the best way to know also is through the works and the actions of the individual. I got to put that out there. We're following individuals who say this right here, right? You are Elohim Israel, and I am your servant, have done all these matters by your word, right? We hear people say that they present stuff to you. They're telling you, oh, well, the Most High told me this, and the Most High showed this to me, and this and that. I don't knock it, but I'm watching you. I don't knock. When people say that, I can't say anything. People say I'm a prophet, I won't say no, you're not. But I'm going to watch you. I'm going to see your works. I'm going to see how you move every day. I'm going to see how your home is, right? But even with that could be shaky because we see how Eli's home was with his sons. So that doesn't necessarily remove you from being that. But I'm watching, as we all should watch. Anybody that's claimed to be a servant of the Most High, anybody that claimed to be a prophet of the Most High, we should watch them. But if they prove it, you should listen. If they're proving it, you should listen. If you claim or you say that you are someone that wants to please the Most High. You know, it's interesting. A lot of us know the scriptures. We know the word here and there. And we utilize sayings like, well, the Most High never wanted a king anyway. The Most High wanted us to only deal with him anyway. And they're not fully wrong when they say that. The problem is the Most High gave us that opportunity. Now that opportunity is gone. We can still do it individually, but it's still an order now due to us collectively agreeing on, hey, you know, Moshe, you deal with him. You deal with the Most High. We're going to only listen to your voice. We all started that. We started that. So now we got to operate within it. So when we're saying that stuff, a lot of times people are saying that because they don't want to really go by the order and the structure. Take an example from that woman we just read in the previous channel. Previous chapter. She listened to that instruction. That pride is down. All right. Let's keep going. Verse 37 says, answer me, O Most High, answer me, and let this people know that you are the Most High Elohim, and you shall turn their hearts back to you again. Right? So he's going to turn, he has to turn their hearts back. I can say everything I'm saying to you all right now. Prince could say everything he's saying to you all every time he speaks. Or anybody that deem themselves to be a servant could say whatever they want to say to the people. But the Most High is going to have to change your hearts, your mind, in order for you to see this thing. Because when we keep reading, watch this. Then the fire of the Most High fell and consumed the ascending offering, the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and it licked up the water, and it was in the trench. And all the people saw and fell on their faces and said, the Most High, he is the Elohim. The Most High, he is the Elohim. But we've seen this before. We've seen this take place before. We've seen this take place throughout our history. We see it today. We probably did it ourselves. I've done it myself in past times. Right? Something happens, something that we desire. We promise we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then we shift and we change. Now, granted, there are levels, but that's an excuse too. Because anything else that we want in this world, we do it. When we want something else, we do it. But when it comes to the Most High, we don't really got to do that. That's not what we have to do. Oh, we don't do that no more. We didn't. I've been listening to people speak on certain subjects, and you gotta let them speak sometimes. You say your piece, you say what the Most High says, and then you gotta let it go. But here you are. You have these people saying what they're gonna do, and watch this. And Eliyahu said to them, "Seize the prophets of Baal." So the people saw and fell on their faces. Didn't say the prophets. Didn't say the leaders. Said the people fell on their faces and said, "The Most High, He is the Elohim, the Elohim, out of this other mighty one or deity that we're paying homage to, that we're getting reverence to." They changed their mind, just like we should do today, and said, "He is the Elohim. He is the Elohim. Seize the prophets of Baal. Do not let one of them escape." So they seized them, and Eliyahu brought them down to the Wadi Kassan and slew them there. What are we learning from this? Those who claim to be of the Most High got to stand firm. If we saying something, you're doing something wrong according to the law, especially when it comes to idolatry. After we say it, we got to fulfill something, right? Whatever that subject is, whatever it is that the Most High is putting on us to share to the people, we got to fulfill that. If it's dealing, especially dealing with idolatry. See, I know that we're in a time that everyone is learning, but there is going to be a time where we're not going, and we probably shouldn't even be doing it now. We probably shouldn't even be doing it now. But there comes a time where we're going to have to just part from those that's continuing to be doing idolatry. Now, we're supposed to do that regardless. But I know some of you that's listening are understanding what I'm saying. There are some individuals that's putting individuals on the same level as the Most High. That should not be the case. Now, granted, I know history. I know what's being implemented and put in places, and what things weren't put in there, so things could be added and said. Because any servant of the Most High, any individual of the Most High is going to direct you straight to the Most High and never direct you to themselves. Ever. But again, I know history and I know how things are shifted. Okay? But it's going to come a time where we can't continue to be a part of idolatry of any form. Because when we do that, we're going to be the ones that's going to fall along with the people that's doing it. We have to take the examples of those before us. That is what's happening here. All right. I want to stop there for this chapter. But I really wanted to point that out. Of course, we're in the United States right now. So slewing someone or, killing someone, I don't know. I struggle with that. I struggle with that because I understand it's a time and a place for everything. And we have seen examples of that being executed, understanding that time and place. But we also seen examples where us as a people didn't fold to that governmental structure that was forcing or trying to force our people to serve other mighty ones. So we got to wait for the Most High to show us when that time is. But this is what's happening here. That's what I have for this chapter. Is there any thoughts, any comments pertaining to what's been said or what's been read?
Okay. I was, correct me if I didn't hear you correctly, but when you talked about being able to be as a leader, or if you're not even a leader, but if you are instructing someone something, you truly believe in it, that this is the path that the Most High showed you, and you are trying to show someone else, but if you don't live it daily, it's like, how are you presenting this, but you don't even practice it yourself, or believe in it. And so it made me really think about. It just made me think about Israel as a whole. We do have a lot of, we look right now. We probably can't even count, and I know we can't, on our hands how many congregations exist that teach one thing but do the exact opposite. And so how many souls are being led astray from the Creator because of that? And so it makes me really think of, like, we should be ashamed, first of all, to be doing that, because that's one thing, that's breaking the law that the Most High said, when he said, do not put a hurdle upon your brother or sister. And so even with that, it truly makes me consider everything that, I do. Because, like, I had a sister ask me, no, I won't say her name, but she asked me, like, how do I do it? And I had to tell her that, in complete transparency and honesty, that I wasn't always doing it. There was times when I was following or speaking one thing, but not doing it because of those around me. And then the more that it happened, and then the more punishment I received from doing it, is what brought me back to doing it, like truly living it. And so what I realized is that, and what I told her is that I finally accepted the role that the Creator has placed me in, and stopped fighting it, and understood that within that role, though, I have so much responsibility. And so that's the other part of leadership, and taking on leadership responsibilities, or the role of a leader, or titles. There's so much weight that comes with that. And to uphold that title means you have to be able to carry that weight, and even more at times. So, so I definitely tip my hat off to those of us who striving our best to actually carry that weight and show the people through our actions, through our everyday living. Because, like the sister said, it's a practice. It's following instruction, which was brought out earlier, and it's application of Torah. Like those are the basic three things that help you to be accountable for the role that you have to play, and to be accountable for the people that you lead, whether it be you as a mother, a father, a teacher, whatever it is, you are showing people. And if you're not living it, then you're leading people astray. And then also you're turning people away from the Creator, because then why would people believe you? Why would even people believe in the Creator if, they truly have prayed about it, and it's like, oh no, this is what I should be following. And then you're turning them away. So many people walk away from this way of life. And it's not, I can't say it's always a leadership's fault, because a person, you know who you are as a person. But when you truly think about it, though, if you know that you are a shepherd being led by a shepherdess, and you know that that person is learned, and you put your faith in them to teach you righteously, and they don't, then you fall or you fail because they are failing you. And then you lose your faith in the Creator, and it happens so often. So just even, considering all of that, it's a responsibility, and it's a part of saying to yourself, once you gain that responsibility, that you play a major role in that person's life. And if that person fails, it's really on you as a leader, because that means you failed them, you failed in your position. And I won't say in all ways, but in most cases, that's what it is. So I think, we just really have to be diligent in our roles and responsibilities and understand that we can't sway one way or the other because other people don't agree with you or don't like how strict you are or don't like, the way that you interpret something, but be willing to listen, have those conversations, and lead people in the most righteous manner as possible. And I think that's what's missing in a lot. That's just what's missing in a lot of congregations, and in a lot of walks of life. I won't even just put it on us as Israel, but because we are his chosen, it's so much more important for us, to take on that responsibility that he has placed on all of us, his children. He says we are the light. So even if we don't have a leadership role, we have a light that's supposed to exemplify a greatness that a lot of us just aren't doing it. We're just calling ourselves by Yisrael, but we truly don't believe in the Creator. We truly don't practice his law, statutes, or commandments, and we truly don't live it on a day-to-day basis. So, I just think that it's so much more we have to do and so much more we have to learn. So, thank you, Torah Rabah, for the lesson.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? I do want to comment on what Princess brought out and what she said 100%. In addition to it, I kind of want to just try to encourage everyone, like especially in this time, because we study in the scriptures. So the scriptures is here to show us something. And a lot of people that's listening, a lot of people that's out here trying to move their at least initial thoughts, I would think, is they want to please the Most High in some fashion, but they're being they're allowing other things to come in to shift them, or really in their mind or their heart, they really shifted anyway. But the encouragement I want to put out is this. Even if you see a leader is not doing, you got to do. Again, what Princess said is 100. In addition to what she's saying, in order for change, you have to be that change. We can't say, oh, well, we can say, because we do say it, the leader's not doing anything, so, I'm not, right? That leader is becoming a stumbling block for you, and that's true. But you're doing it for the Most High, not that leader. Our walk is for the Most High. It's not that leader. It's not that leader at all. That does not mean don't follow instructions that's put forth within the laws, the Most High, that leader is upholding. Oh yes, follow the instruction. But ultimately, who are you doing it for? The Most High. So once we don't have that in our mind, then we fall into that, well, they're not doing it, so I'm not. And now we're not even serving the Most High ourselves. We're doing our own thing. Because the leader could actually be teaching you right, but he may not be right. Or she may not be right. We got to learn how to decipher that, separate it. We got to learn how to see this being said, see this being presented, and remove it from what's being done by that individual. That's not to say go amongst an unrighteous person. I'm not saying that. But you're not doing this walk for them. You're not doing this culture. You're not serving them from a standpoint on the level of what you're supposed to do for the Most High. And with that, I yield. I just want to add that, give that encouragement, and get your wheels turning in that thought process. Keep that thought process, because if you do, you will stay as righteous as possible. You will move as righteous as possible, because you realize it's not about them. It's about your walk and your connection with the Most High. When I say that, understand I'm not saying you are to move individually. I'm not saying that at all. All right? Any more comments, any more questions before we go forward? All right. Let's jump to 1 Kings 19. First Kings 19. All right. And it says, when Ahab reported to Jezebel or Isabel all that Eliyahu had done, also how he slew all the prophets with the sword. Jezebel sent the messenger to Eliyahu, saying, so let the mighty ones do to me, and more also, if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. Before we keep going, Jezebel, a Phoenician princess, was married to Ahab. And she is putting forth some type of decree. And she's supposed to be married to an Israelite man, and not even just an Israelite man, but king. Keep reading. Verse 3. And he feared and rose up and ran for his life and went to Beersheba, which belongs to Yehuda, and left his servant there. Okay? This is Eliyahu fearing. Remember, I was saying prophets have their moments. Men of the Most High have their moments. He saw what was done to those before him. This is the same prophet that thought that he was the only prophet at this point, right? It says he left his servant there. Some would think that, he did something bogus and he ran. Another school of thought, or a way that you could think about it, is the servant isn't the one that she's coming after. She's coming after Eliyahu. So you know what? You stay here. You could blend in. I'll leave. Right? That's one way. So we don't really know why he did this. But I know a lot of us run to like, okay, he was bogus for leaving. We can't view it as that. We can, but we shouldn't. Verse 4 says, but he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a broom tree and prayed that he might die, and said, it is enough. Now the Most High, take my life, for I am no better than my fathers. Why is he saying I'm no better than my fathers? What's going on through his mind? He just did the will of the Most High. He calls the people to come back and bow down and pray to the Most High. He got rid of those false prophets, right? Could it be because he's fearing? Why do we think he's no better than my fathers? It says, and he feared, he rose up and he ran. Or was it wise that he did that? Let's keep going. And he lay and slept under a broom tree, and see, a messenger touched him and said to him, rise, eat. Right? So Eliyahu had his moment. He prayed to just die, get it over with. I'd rather you take my life than this woman who ain't even, from my understanding, an Israelite, who's married to a king within Israel. I'd rather just die. But he said, and he slept under a broom tree, and see, a messenger touched him and said to him, rise, eat. And he looked, and he saw by his head a cake baked on coals and a jar of water. So he ate and he drank and turned and laid down. This man of the Most High, Eliyahu, was losing his faith a little bit, maybe. But through his actions and what he was doing, the Most High took care of him. But the Most High took care of him due to his consistency in servitude. A righteous man will fall 7 times, right? Didn't say he sinned. I'm not saying that. Falling can be going and fall into a place of being out of it, discouraged, not belief, and not fully not believing, because apparently he knows the Most High. He prayed to the Most High. It's not belief in the Most High, but it's what's going on in his mind, what's going on in his life, and the Most High still was there for him. Period. Sent his malak to him. Rise and eat. Verse 7, and the messenger of the Most High came back the second time, touched him, and said, rise and eat, for the journey is too much for you. Right? You need to eat. When people go into depression, what's the first thing they start doing most times? Not eating. He said, your journey is going to be long, so eat. And he rose up and ate and drank, and went in the strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights, as far as Horeb, the mountain of Elohim. And there he went into a cave and spent the night there. And see, the word of the Most High came to him and said to him, what are you doing here, Eliyahu? And he said, I have been very jealous. For the Most High Elohim of hosts, for the children of Yisrael have forsaken your covenant. They have thrown down your slaughter places, and they have killed your prophets with the sword, and I am left, I alone, and they seek my life to take it. So is this talking about all of the children of Israel? Because we had a group of individuals that shifted and prayed and turned and said what they was going to do. We weren't there. It doesn't elaborate right here. That they turned back to it, and now all of them is after him? Or is he talking about the group of individuals that's under Ahab, who are Israel? And he said, verse 11, go out and stand on the mountain before the Most High and see. This is what we was talking about earlier, about our lives today. We're doing so much. It's nothing but noise. We're watching all these TV shows, listening to all this music. We're watching all these movies. I'm not saying don't do any of that. But we're oversaturating ourselves to where we can't even really hear the Most High. We oversaturating ourselves so much that we're believing that we're hearing the Most High. You can't hear the Most High when you're oversaturating yourself with everything that is opposite of the Most High. Impossible. But watch what he says right here. And he said, go out and stand on the mountain before the Most High and see. The Most High passed by him, right? And a great strong wind tearing the mountains and breaking the rocks in pieces before the Most High. The Most High was not in the wind. Why? Because that wind came after him. He passed by. Can you imagine something coming at full force, full speed? This is just me putting my thoughts on it. And what follows them? That wind, right? Knocking stuff over. It says that passed by in a great strong wind, tearing the mountains and breaking the rocks in pieces before the Most High. And the Most High was not in that wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. And the Most High was not in that earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. And the Most High was not in that fire. And after the fire, a still, small voice. How can we hear a still, small voice when we're surrounded by a group of individuals or a group of things that are not even speaking the word of the still, small voice that's being attributed to the Most High? We need moments within our lives, whether it's meditation, whether it's pausing, right? Whether it's studying. This is why I remember someone I was talking to had said, well, we don't have to study, every day or even often throughout the week once we have it, blah, blah, blah. I don't knock that school of thought. I don't agree with it. I actually disagree with it fully. Why? Because we're over here in the United States, a part of so many people, especially if you're not in a community. You're around your neighbors of different ethnicities, different moral compasses, different ideology, all of this. Then you're watching woman house, what was it, Housewives of Atlanta, and you'd watching all this stuff. Not knocking you for watching it, because sometimes these things, when you watch it, it gives you a perspective that you don't want to put your children and family a part of. So I'm not saying don't watch these things, but what I'm saying is, when you're telling and teaching that we don't need to be in our literature, that we don't need to be around our people that serve the Most High constantly, that's when you're not able to hear this still voice. 12 says, and after the earthquake, a fire. The Most High was not in that fire. He wasn't in the earthquake. He wasn't in the wind that he caused. But after the fire, a still small voice. And it came to be, when Eliyahu heard it, that he wrapped his face in the robe and went out and stood at the cave opening. And see, a voice came to him and said, what are you doing here, Eliyahu? If Eliyahu focused on all that stuff, he would have been scared. He probably wouldn't even have been able to focus on this voice. What does this remind you of? The children of Yisrael, when the Most High was supposed to be our king. All that stuff, thundering, all that stuff that was happening, they couldn't even focus on that small voice, because they was focusing on all this other noise around them. But Eliyahu was able to focus. Even in the midst of him being scared, even in the midst of him thinking he was about to die, he was focused after he did what? Inquired of the Most High. Remember that last teaching? He inquired of the Most High, even in the midst of him feeling that he wanted to die. He still went to the Most High first. And he was able to focus himself, readjust himself, be that righteous one that failed 7 times, come back to stay righteous and understand that I have to move like this in order for the people, in order for myself. And if I want to hear the Most High, I have to be still. Shaul couldn't hear from the Most High because he already wasn't listening. He wasn't being still. He was listening to the other people who wanted stuff like that. He wanted to please them. Forgot what was taught. And the Most High, listen, remember me, still a king of Israel, so I'm not going to say anything crazy about him. But he didn't remain still. That's what we got to do sometimes, even in the midst of chaos. And he said, verse 14, I have been very jealous for the Most High Elohim of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken your covenant. You got to think, why is he jealous? Is it similar to Nineveh with Jonah? They shifted, they changed, right? Sir, understand who the Elohim is. Y'all doing this by all stuff. And then they shifted, they changed, put their face to the ground. Don't really go into what's happening at this point. Why is he jealous? Doesn't bring it out too much. I'd love to hear some of you all's thoughts. But the first thing I could think of is Jonah and Nineveh. They have thrown down your slaughter places, and they have killed your prophets with the sword, and I am left, I alone, and they seek my life to take it. Or is he jealous because he feels he's alone? That those before him have had others around him. Doesn't specify. But even with those 2 examples I gave, we can still learn from both of them. All right? Don't be jealous if the Most High changes someone to come back to him. Remember, he said you're going to be the one that's going to open their minds. Not saying that's what he's jealous about, but some of us do get jealous. We get jealous of the next person that might have changed their lives, and now, why are you allowing that to happen? Or don't be jealous if you are the only one that you feel you're the only one around. Don't be jealous. Give honor and glory to the Most High for that. That he felt that it was necessary for you to be the only one in your mind to save and help these people and bring them back to him. There's nothing to be jealous about, not being around other people that can help. Those are only two things I could think of as to him being jealous. And verse 15, the Most High said to him, go, return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus, and you shall go in and anoint, watch this, Hazael as sovereign over Aram, and anoint Yehua, son of Nimshi, as sovereign over Israel, and anoint Elisha, son of Shaphat of Abel, Maholah, as prophet in your place. Has anyone ever wondered why he brought somebody else in his place? Sometimes it's just time to pass that mantle, but sometimes it can be for other reasons. Take what we're reading, dissect it, keep it contextually, but try to take it and just apply it here, because a lot of us do these same things. A lot of times we're wondering why we're being removed from something, and then we can't take it. Some of us understand why. We can read with our forefathers, and when they understood why they were being replaced, when they understood why they couldn't go see the land, Moshe, when they understand. But then you have others like Shaul, that they just didn't take heed to it, or like I think the leaders within Israel in Numbers, when he told them not to go fight, and they still went to do it anyway. We have to recognize, we have to inquire, we have to be still to hear a still and small voice. Verse 18 said, and I shall leave 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed to Baal. We read this before, but let's keep reading. And every mouth that has not kissed him.
Can you read that again and expound on that, please?
And I shall leave 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth that has not kissed him. So all these individuals, these 7,000 individuals, have not committed idolatry towards the Most High. These individuals may not be what you're doing at this moment, Eliyahu, but these individuals have the same spirit as you're having in servitude for me. These individuals have not sat down and bowed to Baal, it says, right? Or kissed him, served him, right? That's what it's saying here. How can I relate that to today? A lot of us, we're not blessed in this situation to where we might have been grew up in this walk. We was doing a lot of things that was given to us. Y'all remember Josiah or Josiah? How it says he did all things right in the eyes of the Most High. But you do remember before he corrected things, he was doing what was taught to him by those before him. But he was doing the best that he knew how, the best that he knew of in doing it. So some of us can't even tie his shoes in that department. But the plus is we can read and learn and take heed to some of the teachers that can recognize this and bring it to us, right? So we can understand that we are supposed to give all credit, all honor, all glory, all reverence to the Most High Power. Every individual that came as a servant or a messenger of the Most High did that. You can't show me one that has not. So to answer Prince's question, to elaborate, hopefully I elaborated on it, but in context, these individuals that he's speaking of have never committed idolatry towards Baal. Never bowed, because bowing doesn't mean serving. But now when you start kissing, right, that's serving. That's on a different level. That's in addition to bowing, right? You wanted the same thing on that before I continue, Prince? Or you want me to finish out?
Man, you You don't.
Toda, all glory and honor. Praise to the Most High for that. I think you said I'm doing well. Kind of broken up a little bit. Verse 19. And he went from there and found Elisha, son of Shaphat, who was plowing. Now he's being obedient. He told him what to do. He said, I want you to go pick this person, and Eliyahu is going to replace you. Right? But in order to be replaced, you have to be risen up. You have to be risen up. In our culture, and we should still be doing it today, and it is great leaders that's doing it. Raising up someone, you got to teach them the ways. Eli did that with Shemuel. And look how great Shemuel got. Moshe did that with Yehoshua. You remember Deuteronomy 18? I'm standing firm when I say this. That is pointing at Yehoshua, Joshua. A brother in the midst of you will be raised up. In the midst of you in this moment, right here. He followed him everywhere. Moshe was up in there. He was sitting outside the door, standing still. Everywhere he went. He was being risen up. He was raising them up. Now, getting that torch passed to him. That is what's happening right here with Elisha and Eliyahu. But let's keep reading. 19. He went from there and found Elisha, son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him. And he was with the 12th. And Eliyahu passed by him and threw his robe on him. And he left the oxen and ran after Eliyahu and said, please let me kiss my father and my mother, and then I follow you. And he said to him, go, turn back, for what have I done to you? And he turned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slaughtered them and cooked their flesh using the implements of the oxen, and gave it to the people, and they ate. Then he rose up and followed Eliyahu and became his minister. Some books say servant. And we're stopping with that chapter. Is there any comments, any questions, any thoughts?
Okay. Sister Sharon had a question. She wanted us to, I'm going to it 1 second. Wanted to elaborate, if you could, on the misuse of the Jezebel spirit. And she's saying that because people always use Jezebel as symbolic to a whore or whorish woman.
Okay. I love that she brought that out. I don't knock the school of thought. Y'all going to hear me saying that often. I understand certain schools of thought. But contextually, well, let's say this. Let's deal with the context. We have a Phoenician princess that is married to King Ahab. And she is putting up a decree and being the cause of the killing of prophets within the Most High, of the Most High. So a Jezebel spirit, the reason I say I don't knock the school of thought, but it isn't applied to everybody. Everybody use scripts, and if they disagree with something of a woman, they will automatically say, most people, I'm not saying all, because I can't speak on why they're saying it, but what I do see typically is they will say you got a Jezebel spirit. So the agreement that I have with it is this: if you are causing a man and or a woman of the Most High to go away from their duties, or you're trying to destroy the name, because they ain't really killing a day like that, right? They don't have the decree or the power to kill, but they have the words to kill. So spiritually, that Jezebel spirit, when it's being said as such, if they're speaking of it contextually, spiritually, then you can relate it to what Jezebel did with the prophets of the Most High. Hopefully that makes sense what I'm saying.
Can I be heard?
Go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, what you're saying is absolutely correct. One of the things that we miss with Jezebel is that Jezebel, as you said earlier, she was a pagan origin. She was a Zidonian. But one of the things that she did was she tried to teach Israel to practice idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
She took Israel away from the Almighty and taught them about another deity. And we have a lot of them women that possess that spirit today. Now, we're not saying that we don't have men that does it, because we got a lot of men that do it.
Okay.
But the question is really about Jezebel. Therefore, I'm only speaking about in reference to Jezebel. So we got to keep that in mind with all the things that you've stated also. She really took our people away from the worship of the Almighty, and they practice idolatry. My screen is frozen, so y'all going to have to mute me. Total robot.
Okay. And Cattell says Jezebel is also symbolic of the domineering, it's a new word for me, female spirit allowed to rule over some men. So I think it's like dominating, basically. Female spirit allowed to rule over some men. And Cattell told everybody. Hopefully I answered the question, and Prince added to that, as well as Ann Cattell, Jaber Sharon. Hopefully I touched on it. I will say that just like with any topic or subject, you know, if it's truth in it, it's truth. But sometimes people say stuff too just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear people say all the time that somebody is what's that saying everybody say? I can't think of the word. We all say it, not we all, but it's the first thing people run to when somebody narcissist. We automatically say everyone is a narcissist if it's something we're not liking. When it's qualifications that calls that identifies you as a true narcissist, right? We do that with the scripture. We'll sit up here and just apply everything to whatever we can't do that, but people do it, you know, or we shouldn't do that. We can do whatever we want. So the Jezebel spirit, you know, I wouldn't say it's everyone. I will say it's a lot of our people. Like Prince said, the topic was about the woman, so yes, and it's men as well. You got a comment? Mm-hmm. All right.
Naseekh Shama here. I know in the back, but I did want to comment on the Jezebel spirit. As I said, when I came into this walk, I heard about it a lot, and I never knew where it derived from, as in like the doctrine of where a Jezebel spirit came from. I think it was about.
Can she come closer just a little bit?
Sorry, can I be heard a little better?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had saw about maybe a month ago, a brother brought out some interesting details about a Jezebel spirit. He said a Jezebel spirit cannot be fulfilled without is it an Ahab?
Yeah.
Ahab spirit. A Jezebel and an Ahab spirit go hand in hand, because remember, she was a princess, but he was the ruler. He gave her the final say to do what she could do. So I always felt like, respectfully, because I wasn't raised to be a Jezebel, but as a young woman coming into this walk and all I heard was the Jezebel spirit, I thought that it was unfair to not also include the Ahab spirit. Because again, if a woman is having her way with you disrespectfully, you are the person that can either close or open that door as a man of the Most High. And I just believe that weakness is what gives her the door, that Jezebel spirit, to do what she needs to do. Shalom.
That was powerful to me. I don't know about all of you, but that was interesting. I like that, and expounding on what he brought out, and you putting your thoughts on the Ahab spirit. I've never heard of that one. That's my first time hearing that. But we do understand culturally, it's important to recognize that as the king, he should have, but he allowed it. And she went full force. So, all right. Any comments, any thoughts? We do have it's going to be a part 2.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, yeah, Kane, I totally agree with Naseekh Shama. That what immediately I thought of is beta male, and beta male, and like a quote unquote alpha female spirit being together, basically, just to put it in like worldly terms, I guess. That's
Mhm.
immediately what I thought of, because that's like that's pretty much all that's talked about on social media nowadays, like how females dominate men and men don't know how to step up, et cetera, et cetera. So that just to put it in like layman's terms, I guess that's kind of what I thought of, but that makes total sense. She was only allowed to do what he actually said she could do. So there's that. But I want, my question is with the verses 9 through 14. And my question is, I know you said that he was Elijah heard a small voice
Mhm.
after like the earthquake and the wind and the fire and things like that. My
Mhm.
question is, I guess, is that what he was supposed to learn? Because when he first came into the cave, the spirit of the Most High, or a servant, as we say, right, asked him, "What are you doing here?" And then Elijah answered, and he gave his answer. And then he went to the top of the mountain, I think, and then he saw what the he saw that wind, and then like the Most High passing, or the spirit of the Most High, but you know what I'm saying. And then
Mhm.
like all those things happened, and then he came back to the cave, and then he was asked the same question again, "What are you doing here?" And he gave the same answer. So I guess I'm kind of a little bit confused on what he was supposed to learn in that moment, and did he learn what he was supposed to learn, or was the small voice that he heard after all of that, that was what he was supposed to learn? How to hear the Most High again, maybe?
Mhm.
Zehu.
Those those are some good. That's a good outlook on what you brought out. And the part where you pass, you got to remember too. You heard the speaking, right? You heard him. All the noise, all the chaos came after, and then he went back to that small voice. Was he supposed to learn that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that answer fully. But my portion of reading it more so was to point at the fact that he's becoming jealous, right? So now he's starting to let all of this cause him not to hear the original point of what he's supposed to do with the people. That's why I brought up those two scenarios about jealous. So you have this coming after I passed by. You speak. You spoke. I spoke to you first. You heard me, as you just brought out. Then you hear this. You had a chaos with the earthquake, with the fire, with the loud wind, and now I speak again, and you hear this small voice. Come back to that. Don't allow all this was taking place to cause you to get off course. That's my take on it. If anyone else has something to bring out, I could take heed to it, especially if it's contextual. Before I allow that though, go ahead. If anybody has anything, I want to say something to the first part you said. But go ahead. Sound like somebody has something to say.
I'll be patient. I'll wait.
Um, the first thing I lost train of thought of the first thing that you said before you asked your question. You said something I wanted to bring. What was the subject that you brought out right before you asked the question?
Um, the subject. I was talking about the alpha and the.
Okay, cool. Toda. Well, we got to realize too, you all. I know we do this alpha, this beta male, all this other stuff. That's cool. All that stuff is great. I'm not against it, but the laws is still important. You can feel you're an alpha woman, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. Fine, but you got to realize that it's people that's listening to you. It's people that's learning from you, your youth, and those that you may be teaching in some sort. They might not have the understanding that you have as it pertains to still keeping the laws and understanding the order of a home for the success of our community and our people. Other ethnicities understand that, right? We, not on a large scale, can separate those two. So you may be able to separate that. You may be an alpha female, I guess. I don't do that all alpha male. alpha female stuff. I get it. I understand the concept. I still think that draws a division with us. But you may have that. You may be an alpha female, but if you're teaching that, and those that are listening to you are not as strong as you spiritually and mentally to still understand and separate it and know, like, okay, we still got to operate with this order, then you can assist in causing what we're seeing today. You know, even as her being an alpha woman, Jezebel, or anyone that has that spirit, you still have to understand, even if you have a beta male, that the order is still there. Because when you feel you're alpha female and you have a beta male, you're not going to allow him to do what he's supposed to do. It's just not in you. But what's being taught today is, well, alpha female, alpha male, female cannot be with a beta male. And that's cool. But let's just be honest and real. Most people don't understand that. Most people don't know what that truly is. And even if you don't know what you are, it's really just understanding how we're supposed to move as a people. We don't understand that. Whether you're alpha, female, whether you're beta, all it does not matter. So I wanted to comment on that because there's many people that's listening to us. There's many people that's watching us. And if we're teaching that, we got to understand that they're running with it. They'll take it and they'll run with it. And then they may not even be an alpha female, but now they're making themselves become it and don't even have the real qualities of it. So I'm going to pass it back to Prince if you still remember what you was going to bring out. Then we'll continue.
Oh, absolutely. I remember. But this lesson is so good, boy. You got me on fire over here, man. This lesson is so good. Yes. Much needed in our community. Much needed. What I wanted to talk about was the part about the earthquake, the wind, the fire. See, before that happened, Elijah was scared, remember? He ran.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He went to this place and he witnessed the earthquake, the fire, the wind, all that stuff made him afraid again. And then after all that fear, a still small voice began to speak. And my understanding is that the Creator was trying to show him that the Most High don't reside in fear. You can't serve him in fear. It wasn't until the fearful parts left him that he calmed down and heard that small voice, and the Most High spoke to him. Almost like the lesson that you were bringing forth with all these distractions.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things convoluting your mind, you can't hear the voice of the Creator. And if fear is overpowering your thoughts, you can't hear the voice of the Creator. So in my understanding, that's what the Father was trying to show us. All that fear, as long as you're fearful, you won't hear him. Got to be at peace.
Okay. Told out. And notice in that chapter, after that took place, he's like, okay, I want you to bring this person here because he's going to do this. And bring this person here because he's going to do this. And then bring Elisha because he's going to kill him. He's going, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. This is, you know, even while I'm teaching, I'm learning more, you know, so this is just a powerful, and I can't wait till we get to Elisha himself, like fully. We're not going to get there today. I highly doubt it. But let's see. Any more questions? Any more comments?
Okay. Yeah, when you brought out the kind of what Ma'azahn said about that focus, that point of when he let go of everything else and listened to that voice. And what I liked the most in that is the voice wasn't loud and boisterous. It was quiet. So when that came, that meant you had to kind of quiet everything else around you to be able to hear it, which means, as Ma'azahn brought out, having a state of peace among you. Because it wasn't brought out, he didn't bring it out to be louder than the chaos. He didn't bring it out to cause more kind of like, you know, wondering eyes, trying to figure out where it's coming from. It was really quiet so that you the person who the Most High is speaking to should quiet out everything else. And that's part of the whole reason why the Most High gets jealous when we do listen or obey, deities, because you are not listening to him. You're allowing everything else to come in and to confuse you.
That's right.
So even that, when that was brought out, the quietness of the voice, and it actually it reminds me, like, in our dream states, that's when a lot of times we're at our most quietest. Our mind is not so busy that the Most High speaks to us.
Mm-hmm.
And even before, like, I've been doing my best prior to, lying down to sleep, is doing something that quiets my mind so that all the thoughts that I had throughout the day aren't continuously in my head while I'm dreaming. Because a lot of times that's where the Most High, when I have questions, I get a lot of my answers during that time, because that's when my body is at the most peace, my mind is at the most peace. And I do notice when it's a lot of chaos or confusion around, or just really not even a negative manner, though, you're just truly busy for a lot of the day. When you go to rest, you're still not resting. Your mind and your body is restless. So I love that point. And then I wanted to say that what Naseekh Shama brought out is so true, because, we speak continuously, or we hear continuously, of the spirit of Jezebel. But what she brought out is so prominent, because the spirit of Ahab has to exist. It's like yin and yang, positive and negative, a cause and effect to everything. And what we are seeing in that particular verse, that spirit that was brought about on her was brought about on him as well, for it to be, right? And of course, we speak of, in today's time, we see it a lot. And it is true. I think what people do is, when they see a strong woman, they be like, oh, she's an alpha woman. I know, me personally, I'm a strong woman, but I don't use that term, because I know the connotation of it brings in so many other different energies around it. So I don't use that terminology. But what I do understand, and what I know from my own experience, is, as a strong woman, when you do have a male that you are in a relationship with that is not as strong as you, who is weak in certain things, you tend to lead and take over. And that's not your role. So it can formulate into other things for other people to view and call you and name you certain things. But I think what has to happen, or what needs to happen rather, is a woman who is, thank you, Stacia, assertive woman. When she is in that stead, she still needs to know her role and remain in her femininity. But it's something that actually we talk about in our sisterhood. It is a hard reality in times to remain in your femininity when so much masculine responsibilities are put upon you in this time and in this day and time, especially if you're a single woman, especially if you made a decision to be with a man who is not as strong as you. And sometimes you don't realize these things until you're actually in a relationship with him. But, of course, that goes with all the things that we are bringing out in our community about courtship, about vetting a person, about allowing others to vet them for you, so that these decisions don't be made and then you're placed in a position of that, which can alter who you are as a woman in so many ways. But yes, so what she brought out is so important. And I wanted to also bring out, like, the spirit of Jezebel. We have to realize, when we're saying the spirit of her, that means that's a spirit that flows around. And so spirits jump on people. So and that spirit doesn't just jump on you because you're in a positive state. You can be having certain thoughts, and that spirit will jump on you. The same as the spirit of Ima Sarah will jump on you if your peace, if your mental is in a certain place, if your spirituality is a certain place. So we have to remember that those spirits jump on us when we, in some form or fashion, have that spirit or have the, it's not the spirit, but have the attitude or characteristics of that spirit to be able to jump on us. It's kind of like when we talk about black magic and all those things. Those things exist. Truly, they exist. We know that the Most High allows them to exist, and they exist for a reason. And so we have to consider all of that and consider that there were things that we read about in Jezebel or read about her. We may not agree with everything that's said, but we have to also look at, kind of like what you said, contextually, what are we talking about at this moment within her that was there? Because that spirit probably wasn't always there, but it came, and it also came because her husband had a different spirit on him as well. So exactly, that's shalom. Are you speaking, Abba? You're on mute.
Oh, sure.
I said shalom.
I had one more thought, if that's okay. This is a question for Maish or Naseekh Shama, and I put it in the chat, but I'll read it. Do either of you think that the opposite of trust is fear?
I can answer. Prince, you can go first, and I can close it out.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have no disagreement. I've said that often, how you operate or your reaction or your action kind of dictates if you trust, depending on that subject, right? So that can show that fear. That fear always prevents true trust with anything, with anyone, any subject. So that's my answer. Toda for that question. All right, what we at? 122 right now. Let's see if we can go 2 more spots. We're gonna do a part 2 because remember the Mount Rushmore, Moshe. Matter of fact, before we go forward, let me get a few people. Tell me who you all's Mount Rushmore is, really quick. Who are your Prince? Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Me. me, and me.
That's funny.
Yeah. If I don't do it, ain't nobody else gonna do it, so I might as well do it. Hey, I would pick Elijah. Mm-hmm. He would be my first. Abraham, Moshe, and Prophet Samuel.
Okay.
That would be my squad right there. Oh yeah, I'll be fifth. You beat myself fifth.
And before the rest of you all go, I don't.
I'm sorry, Naseekh.
No, I was about to say
current, present day Mount Rushmore or ancient Mount Rushmore.
No,
because that would be my ancient.
Yeah, any Mount Rushmore for you, All
right, my current.
Yeah, you could say that too.
All right, that's going to be a hard one because I don't know a whole lot of people that I would put on that level. And I'm just being honest. I guess I would have to be my own picture of my own self. If I can do that without being arrogant or disrespectful or anything, I will put you up there next to me. Man, that's hard. I guess the only other two that I can think of, well, it would be a split. I guess I have to make more than just 4 because I would have to go with some of the elders that passed. There are a few that's here. Elder El Natan would be one. Moray Elisha would be one. And Cohen Mikael would be the other. So if I had to make a Mount Rushmore and if I would be able to put my own self up there. If not, then I'll remove myself if I couldn't use myself. But you would be one. And those other 3, 4 brothers I just mentioned would be the others. And I say that because those people, besides you, I'm just talking about them, although we had our differences with several of them, they have contributed more to the development of our people on a righteous path than a lot of other people that I can speak about. Not saying that they were perfect. By no means am I saying that these men were perfect. But these men were men that I respect and respected for the works and the contributions they did. You know, they didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk. You know what I mean? They actually lived it. So yeah, that would be it. So I'll have to leave your picture up there. If I have to take mine down, I got to take mine down because it's me that's talking. But yeah, definitely. And I'm saying that because, see, I walk with you. Mm-hmm. And like that sister did with Elijah, she tested Elijah before she began to say, hey, now I know you are who you're supposed to be. See, to me, you've been tested. Trials has not ended because trial is an ongoing thing. But you've been tested to a place, and I can say this before the world because I'm not ashamed of what I understand to be true. You've been tested to the point where a lot of other people didn't even pass the first round. You didn't put yourself in a place that I can call you brother and go to sleep knowing that you over top of me, making sure nothing happened to me. You understand what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people that I can say that about in this lifetime. Not on that level. Not in a spiritual circle that we travel in. I wish there were, but there's not. So all I can do is deal with the here and now. And when I speak in reference to you, you're here, you're now, so you'll be on my Mount Rushmore.
All praise to the Most High.
So I closed my, and I'm not afraid if I'm not on yours. It don't matter if I ain't on yours because you ain't got to do that just because I'm saying you. That don't matter to me. I'm speaking what's in my soul, my heart, and what I see.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
What I want to say, and we're gonna come back to this. It's gonna be a part 2. I do want to know the rest of you all's Mount Rushmore in the next lesson or the next conversation. And we're gonna do a modern one too, since Prince brought that out. You know, I was talking about only one, but I like that he brought that out. And even if he put himself on the first one, understand this, you all. I say this all the time, and I've said it. I'm standing on the shoulders of Prince. I'm standing on the shoulders of others before me that are doing great for our people. People will be afraid of hearing this type of conversation, but the reason it's important for us to have this one is because it gives hope to our future generation of children to look at our people that's doing something that we could see tangible things being done. We don't have a lot of that, or we do, but it's not talked about often. So, you know, I'll bring you all mine for the next lesson. At the end of the lesson next time when we go through this part 2, I'm going to bring my 4 in ancient, and I will bring my 4 in present. I might have to do some hybrids like Prince as well. But it's good to say this because those individuals I brought out with the Eli and the Shemuel, with the Moshe and Yehoshua, with the Elijah that we're doing now, Eliyahu and Elisha, it's supposed to get better. So if Prince is saying this about himself, some people might not like it, but other people talk about him. I've talked about him. So it says, let another man say good about you, right? But it's okay to understand what you are doing and what you are contributing. And it should be known, and you should understand that you're doing it because it lets you know that you need to do better also. It lets you know, like, okay, I got to keep going so I can stay there. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to know that. And it's okay to say it as long as you keep it humble. But we do need to understand and understand our men and women of today. Your Mount Rushmore could be women. So our next lesson, I want everyone here that's listening, I want people in the audience to write it. I want people here to write it because these are the people that we're looking to and learning all their righteous movements. It could be differences that you had. It could be things that you didn't like about him. Prince just introduced that with 2 or 3 people he put on his Mount Rushmore, and they had differences. But it's something that we need to know about them to add to us, just like it's something within the scripture that we need to add to us. I've heard people say, well, no man outside of the scripture. It ain't no, I don't knock people to say there's no prophets, and it's no man, blah, blah, blah. It is great men and women today, you all. Because some people be like, well, I need to know who are the great people of today. I don't know those people back then. I don't know Moshe and them back then. It's a book. We know it's our literature. We know it's our history, but it's a book. Who can you show me today doing great things? What are y'all doing? We ran into some people down in Stone Mountain, and they was amazed at some of the stuff that we were doing. They was telling us what they were doing, and then they was talking about what we were doing. Prince gave them their number. Man, we was on the way back. They ended up calling us instantly. A man that they didn't want, a man, watch this. He's not even on the path like us. He has knowledge about us, but I don't know if he's on the path fully. But he said, I got to protect this man with my life. He didn't want to give us the number. That's a concept of how we operate culturally in the scriptures, the righteous ones, the remnant of the remnant. We need this stuff back. We need to have hope and trust in our men and women of today too. Because when we don't do that today, all we're doing is reading a book and it's a fairy tale. And we can't fathom it or understand it because we're not doing it. And we're not giving honor to our women and men that's doing great things of the Most High, and they're living it. Because we're looking at certain things we don't like about them, and we take that over all the great stuff that they're doing. So now we can't pass that information down. What time is it? 12:32. All right, so I want to go to one. Any comments? Because I want to go to one more spot, and we're going to read a little bit, and it's going to be a part 2.
Do you realize that's like ghost worship?
Say that again?
That's like ghost worship.
Yeah.
We want to honor and thank those people who came before us, but they're no longer here. But the ones who are alive today with us, we don't give them their flowers while they're here. And that's not right. We got to wait till somebody pass away. I named one man that has deceased. He's no longer with us. One man. But I gave him his props while he was here. And he spoke highly of me too. But I didn't say that because he spoke highly of me. I said that because I recognize who he is and what he's done in this lifetime. And that was Moreh Elisha. Mm-hmm. We can't get into ghost worship. Our forefathers are gone. They did a great job. But if you look at that book, that book is for us, a book of remembrance of us to learn how to get it right. That's all. And we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for people who doing it. Okay. I'm going to go silent again. May the Most High be praised.
All right, you all. We're going to go to 21, and we're only going to read 12 verses. And I'm going to stop and conclude the first part because I really can't wait to get to Elisha. I love Elijah. Phenomenal. But I just want to, the way that they have moved Elijah or Eliyahu and Elisha is amazing. And if we can take some of what we're reading and have that belief. All right, let's go to 21. We're only going to read 12 verses to close out dealing with Ahab and Jezebel. So we're going to go to 21. Let me get the scripture. 21, verse 17 through 29, you all. Verse 17 through 29. And this is what it says. And the word of the Most High came to Eliyahu the Tishbite, saying, Rise up, go down to meet Ahab, sovereign of Israel, who lives in Shemaron. See, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, where he has gone down to take possession of it. And you should speak to him, saying, Thus says the Most High, have you murdered and also taken possession? And you shall speak to him, saying, Thus says the Most High, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, the dogs are going to lick your blood, even yours. This is a prophecy and I'm not sure if we're going to touch on it in a part 2, but please make sure you all read these stories. It's a prophecy leading to Ahab. And Ahab said to Eliyahu, "Have you found me, O my enemy?" He said, "Have you found me, O my enemy?" He's talking to Elijah. A lot of the teachers of today and prophets that may be out there, because I believe there's prophets out there, you know, those who don't, I don't knock them for it, but I do believe it. Okay, he says, and they're looked at as enemies. A lot of the teachers and leaders are looked at as enemies. It's a difference with having a difference. And then even within that difference, you have to learn how to move for the betterment of the people. I remember me and Prince had a difference, and I had to apologize from a standpoint of I have to make sure, because we are on one accord. I want you all to know that. We're on one accord for our people, for our community, for what serving the Most High, what we're pressing to do. But it's as leaders, as people you work with in your job, as people you're trying to build with, those that's coming have to understand that unity, because people are looking for disunity, and they don't even know they are. Right? So I forgot where I was going with that one. But let's keep reading. So you just have to maintain that, you all. So it says enemy.
I remember where you was going.
I know. I'm trying to see where was
I want to hear that.
Where was I going with it?
You said we had a difference. You said we had a difference, and you apologized, but you didn't fake.
I apologize. And this is the thing. Leaders apologize amongst each other. You know, that's what makes them good leaders. We saw that last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago, when Prince came and brought forth. And he didn't have to on that. To be honest, I'll let y'all understand. Y'all think of that on your own. But he didn't have to. But it's a certain subject I'm speaking of when I say that, not the whole thing in total. But the leaders, when I say it as far as apologize, because I don't want people to think that that's the case when it's not. And if, as I was saying earlier, when we was talking about the alpha, the alpha female, how she may be an alpha female, right? And she understands, although I'm an alpha female, I know how to move. But somebody that's listening may not know how to move, and they run with it. So the apology that I gave was more so like, okay, I know how I moved. I know why I did it. I know my intent. I know that it was no harm, but somebody else can view it and they can run with it and they can call certain things. And we don't want that. So we have to understand these things. All right. I feel like I went left, but hopefully something I said was understood. And this goes for any of y'all listening. Anything that you have when you're trying to build with someone and you have made a commitment with that someone, you have to weather the storm with other things amongst one another, understand that it may be people within you. And that's not necessary all the time, but it is. That's why it's only a remnant of a remnant within Yisrael. You know what I'm saying? If you just look at our history, that happens. So understanding that can be the case, not knowing what individual woman or man or woman that it might be that is the case for or might do that, you just remove it and just try to stay amongst what you all are trying to accomplish. All right, let's keep going. Almost done. It says, and Ahab said to Eliyahu, verse 20, "Have you found me, O my enemy?" And he answered, "I have found you, because you have sold yourself to do evil in the eyes of the Most High." I keep saying this every time I teach when we read this portion. He said, do evil in the eyes of the Most High. So what does that mean? In the eyes of the people, it's a chance that they didn't think he was doing evil. It's a chance that they didn't think. So he had to let them know, look, you're doing evil in the eyes of the Most High. Are you all going to, how would you all feel if a leader came to you all and said you're doing evil in the eyes of the Most High? That's a strong word. That means that you are literally, intentionally going away from what's laid out for us to do. Sometimes you don't even understand what that really means because you have not went deep into study in regards to it, or not even study. You might not be living it out because why? You're around so many things around you that's caused you not to hear the silence and what the most that small voice. And you're afraid of not of being opposite of what you're saturating yourself in. Most of us are afraid of being opposite, right? Set apart of what we're saturating ourselves in. Verse 21. See, I am bringing evil on you and shall consume your descendants and cut off from Ahab every male in Israel, both those shut up and those left at large, and make your house like the house of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, son of Achiah, because of the provocation with which you have provoked me and made Israel sin. Right? So remember, we was talking about Jezebel, and he's speaking to Ahab first. Some of you all said that. My Ishai brought that out too. It still goes back on Ahab because he's that man. So that beta male, it still goes on him. But we can't use that as something to run to either. Even you as that alpha, even if it's difficult, we gotta figure out. That's why I like what Princess brought out as far as us having stuff set to help people who, because there's people in our community, so-called Black community and Israelite community, that they may just call themselves alpha females, and that'd be due to how they speak. Well, I'm an alpha female because of how I speak, not the other stuff a Princess talking about. Not that. Not running stuff. Not understanding how to, that's different. So that's why I was bringing that out. But we have to get back to understanding that, okay, it goes to Ahab. He's talking to Ahab first, but Jezebel still had a part, and we're about to read that right now. So he said that he made Yisrael sin. Why? Because you allow her to manipulate or to just bring forth what Prince brought out, right? To bring forth her customers on our people. To push my people away from me. Your job was not to allow that, no matter who's coming in. 23, and also of Jezebel, the Most High has spoken, saying the dogs are going to eat Jezebel by the wall of Yisrael, right? Not Yisrael. The dogs are going to eat whoever belongs to Ahab, anybody who belongs to him. Why? Because his influence is still amongst them. When we used to read that the Most High say wipe out everything, even the animals, the influence is still amongst everything that's associated with. It's hard for us in 2024 to view that. We think that's very cruel. But then if we think that's cruel, then we should not be supporting the United States, because the United States do that all the time. We can't pick and choose. It says, and dies in the city, and the birds of the heavens are going to eat whoever dies in the field. Indeed, there never was anyone like Ahab, who sold himself to do evil in the eyes of the Most High, because Jezebel, his wife, stirred him up. Some will read this and be like, well, see, they steady blaming a woman. But the first person that was spoke to about was Ahab. A woman could stir you up. But if you are that man of the Most High, that stirring does nothing. You're going to still serve the Most High. You're going to make sure that house does it as well. And if the house doesn't, then y'all got to figure out what y'all going to do. So he's saying that you allowed her to stir you up. Let's keep reading. It says, and he acted very abominably in following idols, according to all that the Amorites had done, whom the Most High dispossessed from before the children of Israel. And it came to be, when Ahab heard those words, that he tore his garments and put sackcloth on his body and fasted and laid in sackcloth and went softly. And the word of the Most High came to Eliyahu. Remember earlier we was talking about how something may be put in place and the Most High pulled back. That's what happened with Nineveh and Jonah, right? This is that's what's happening now. It says, And the word of the Most High came to Eliyahu the Tishbite, saying, see how Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself before me, I do not bring the evil in his days, but in the days of his son, I bring the evil on his house. Now, this is contextually reading right now. I'm not going to go forward into what's going to happen in the future because we're not there. That's part 2. But as of right now, we see he humbled himself. And since he humbled himself from everything that was being said, Most High is merciful, y'all. Then I'm going to pull back on it dealing with him in his days. But it's still repercussions for what you did. You're still going to have something that's going to have to happen to you, even if you humble yourself and pull back. Ask Dawid or Dawid. And with that, you all, that concludes the first part of this, because we definitely got to get into Alicia. But that concludes the first part of this lesson. This lesson being, by this I know that you are a man of Elohim, and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is true. Toda Rabba. Shalom.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
What was that food that he ate?
So what was that food that he ate? Let me go back to it. What verse is that in?
When you first started reading.
Oh, the very first.
The angel came and gave him something to eat, and he did eat.
It probably was man or manna, maybe. I don't know. I got to go back and because in the scriptures say man or man, but we say manna. So
yeah, I believe it was, because if you think about it, he went on that food for 40 days after that. He went on the strength of that food for 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
The angels prepared. It was food from heaven. It was angels' food.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know, we read things and we just don't really absorb the knowledge and the power that comes behind it. But that was a deep, deep verse right there. The angel came, he arise and eat, and he went on the strength of that food for 40 days. One meal lasted him for 40 days. So not only was Moshe the only one who fasted 40 days and 40 nights, but so did Elijah.
Okay.
He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. And right there was our example.
Okay. So I passed the mic.
All right, family. Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions? Any comments?
Naseekh Shama, my HT says, great teaching, Adoni. This was my comment for earlier regarding Alpha and Beta. I truly believe as a people who have dominion over the animals, we should not lower ourselves to these animalistic titles. We already tend to behave like animals to one another. The moment we use those titles, we begin to act as them. Alpha males dominate whatever they feel they are tough enough to conquer, even if it means challenging their prior leader. And that's just one example. We are too intelligent to succumb to such mediocrity. I can never say this word. Mediocre.
Okay.
I was thinking mediocrity. My bad. Mediocre traits. Y'all have some laughter with me today.
Very good. Very good. I like that part you said about going over your leadership. Because a lot of people, that's why they separate and divide. Because they don't have conflict resolution. They don't know how to solve the differences, you know, when it comes to leadership. Therefore, a man rises up in his ego and feel like, I could do this, or I could do better. This is for me to do. And he ain't listening, and she ain't paying her part. And the first thing they do is out. In more separation in the nation. Rather than us sitting down and going over our differences to feel what is needed and necessary. But let me tell you, sometimes it's necessary. And I'm not saying for evil mission. I'm saying we might get too big. The community might just get too big where everybody can't live in this one place, and one part of us got to pack up and go to Chicago and live in Chicago on some land, and the other part live over here, and we have to have two leaders in that one particular place. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. So, but with us today, we haven't arrived at that point. We have these little places of worship, and we might have about 100 people in our membership, and those 100 people don't all agree with the leadership, so they side up. They side up and decide they're gonna start something else over here, and that's what they do, and that's wrong. That's not how we're supposed to move. And then they when they leave, this person ain't talking to this person. So if you decide to go with them and you was cool with the other person, you ain't supposed to talk to the other person because they don't want you to talk. It's foolishness, man. A bunch of foolishness. Most High ain't in it. So I like what she said. You don't rise up in your ego and in your mind to challenge and go against your leadership. That's very important. We have to know that, but the leader also has to be receptive enough to hear the cries of his people. The leadership don't hear the cries of the people, and that's what makes people flee. If he too arrogant, he ain't trying to hear it. He just wants his way, and that's all. And he don't seek the Most High for anything. He just do it all based on what he say. Well, that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's wickedness, wicked leadership. All right, I'm going to be quiet now. Ishi, you had a comment, right?
Okay, just a clarifying question, actually. So for part 2 next Shabbat, we should have a Mount Rushmore ancient version and a modern version, or can it be a blend of both?
Yeah, I would say, depending on how much knowledge you know about our current history in the United States, if it's not a lot about it, it could be a blend of both, or it could just be the ancient within the Tanakh.
Okay, Ken.
I would like to just say, awesome lesson, Naseekh Shama. Definitely, earlier comment I put, a lot was brought out in this lesson. A lot with, like I said before, instruction, order, abiding by order, and then also being true to yourself. I definitely agree with what Naseekh Amuna stated. When we take on certain titles that we place on animals, it's the same as if you call yourself a madam, or certain titles bring on certain characteristics, even outside of, that's why they have these, if you think about the whorehouses, they call those women madams. And if you walk around calling yourself a madam, there's a characteristic that may come with that title. So this is why I always say it's so important of names that we choose for ourselves or that were given to us, our children, and titles that are given to us, because those characteristics those names and titles bring on characteristics upon you. And even when we look in the ancient times and what we learn from daily, all those names and titles meant something. If we really break down those names, break down the alphabet, how it's spelled, all of those things mean something. And so I definitely appreciate, what was brought out. I appreciate the comments, because it gives us a lot to think about. And it just gives us a lot to not just think about, but to do, to kind of place on ourselves an action task. What will be my task to be able to fulfill some of the things that we're talking about today? And I think that's so important. It's something that Maish regularly speaks of, that when you come to class, what are you walking away from? What are you taking from it? So for me, my takeaway, or what was given to me today, was definitely maintaining the understanding of instruction and order, and getting in that place of peace to hear the instruction from the Creator, whether it be through the prophets or through a messenger, through your dream, whatever it is. Because sometimes we may not think that a person is a messenger, but because we're looking at them like, oh, physically, this is what you look like. But what they're saying is it could be the message that we need at that moment. And because we have all these other thoughts about them, that's the chaos that's on our mind right then. We don't hear the message that's coming through them silently or quietly. So that's my takeaway from it. And it made me really think about the community that we're building as a whole, and that we are very small at this moment. So every one of us has a very important, and I'm gonna say it third time, a very important role to play, regardless of whether we think we do or not. Right now in this moment, how the Most High has brought us together, there's important things that has to be done within one of us. And so we all have to sit and kind of like pray to the Creator and ask Him, what is it that you have me here for? And once you get that answer, or if you meditate on it, we can all talk about it, because we need to be able to help each other to fulfill the promise that the Most High has for us to do. Sometimes, like I always say, a leader is not a leader without his people or her people. So, with that said, I encourage us all to really think about what our purpose is and how to fulfill that purpose, and how to ask for assistance or help in fulfilling that purpose. But awesome lesson, and Toda for bringing out, the different things that you did bring out today that has us in great thought. Shalom.
God be praised. Also, remember, family, we'll be back here at 4 o'clock today for our second half of our class. May the Most High be with you all. It's now 1:57. Are there any final words for this first portion? Any comments? Any responses?
Brother Zante just walked in. He has a comment he wanted to say.
Shalom, family. First, I just want to say, beautiful lesson. Very, very beautiful lesson. You put a lot of things into perspective for us, and you gave us a lot of insight when it comes to.
Stand up, bro, so we can see you.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Right.
There you go.
Right.
Good. All right. Yeah. So shalom, family. First, I want to say, earlier we did put our message in the chat. I don't know if it was read or not, but what we were thankful for was just love. We're thankful for life, peace, joy, family, community, and then we're giving thanks for the most recent feast day that we just all celebrated together. But I was saying it was a very, very powerful lesson. I do truly appreciate the insight that was given. A lot of times we read the stories and we break down we go through the stories and we tell what happened, and we go through like just what has happened in the past. But it's another thing when you start to dive into the minds of the people during that time to truly understand or get the greatest understanding that you can get from the stories that we read. Because it's one thing to read it when we're just reading the story, that's just black and white. But when you get down to breaking down where the people were mentally and what possibly the spirit that person was in, it's like now you're getting the color. Now you're getting everything, in this full form and nature. So there's a lot of things that were brought into perspective for me to think about, for me to think and meditate on. A lot of things were confirmations. A lot of things were, some things could be convictions. Some things could be, you gather everything from it. So I just want to say it was a very great lesson, even the comments and the points that were brought up by each individual. This is something that I'm just grateful, man. I told Prince before he left that, I'm truly grateful. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm very thankful for what I am seeing with my eyes, rather than, going through my whole entire life, hearing people say things. And, it's one thing to hear people say something, but it's another thing when you see people doing, so I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful for everything. I could talk all day about it, but, I'm just in a place of gratitude. That's what my name means. Azante just means gratitude. So that's where I'm truly at. I'm thankful for, everybody that's here, the people that's not. I didn't get to speak to you yet, Naseekh, but I pray that everything is going well with you in Texas, that you're doing your thing and letting your light shine. So, I'm just grateful, grateful for everything. I'm grateful to be here on Beulah Land. I'm going to talk a lot about Beulah Land because it's where I'm at. This is what is in front of me. This is what I see. you know, so I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the people that I've met, you know, the family that I've met online. I haven't seen, you know, but this is my first time meeting everybody, feel everybody's energy, you know, in person. And it was a beautiful thing. You know, like I said, the kids was, you know, like I say, kids crying and people not wanting to leave. And that's what you want, you know, when you are establishing something, you want people, you want there to, you want the energy to be so pure and to be so genuine that people don't want to leave, because that means that they haven't seen it anywhere else. Anytime a person doesn't want to leave a place, or a child doesn't want to leave a place, it's because where they're going, whatever they feel will be missing, you know. You know, as a child, sometimes you don't want to leave grandma's house, because, you know, when you leave grandma's house, it ain't gonna be that same nurturing and that same, you know, certain things, you know. So I think it's a beautiful thing when people leave and they don't want to leave and they're anticipating on getting back, because there's a lot of communities that when you left, you're like, man, I don't want to step back foot over there, you know. So that's a beautiful thing to acknowledge and to consider as well. And with that, you know, I say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be praised. All right. Naseekh, was there something you wanted to say?
No. You know, Todah for all the kind words, everyone, and all glory and esteem and honor goes to the Most High for the part one of the lesson.
Okay. Well, any wise man who buildeth his kingdom must surround himself with wise men just like himself or better. If he doesn't, he's a fool. Because you can't build a great empire with all servants and all slaves. Everybody that's a part of that interior circle must be a leader in their own right and actually live in that part in order for that kingdom to be successful. So allow you all to rest with that. Remember, we turning right back here at 4:00 for the second class of this Shabbat day. May the Most High be praised. Todah Rabbah. Shalom, shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom.